So once again, welcome. Now, if it's the first time listening to us on Starr Radio UK, this is how it goes. I'm bringing you the code for the day. The weather forecast will be following suit, and then the travel update will be following as well. We then go on from there. Bring some lovely music. Look at what is happening here in the UK. An exact one. At 11 o'clock, Mr. Olayomi will be joining us with the updates from Nigeria. We then go on having a look and discussion on various issues that is going on across the globe, on the African continent and all the other continents as well. But you know what? At 12 o'clock, I'll be opening the lines for you to add your voice to the discussions. Then at 12:45, we have HRH Linda Pallien coming your way with Career 101. At 1 o'clock exactly, we bring the program to an end. And that is a gist of what is going to be happening today. So wherever you are, once again, let me say a massive welcome to the program. Let's say good morning to Miss Edith Morrison, Valerie Hardy, wherever you are, Jojo Demens, good morning, Sika Koko, good morning, Pastor Emmanuel Chidi, man of God, I salute you, good morning to you, thank you very much for joining us once again. But like I said earlier on, share the page with your friends and loved ones and invite them to like our pages as well. So the quote for the day says, like laws, success principles do not change to suit particular nations or skin colors. Let me take it again. Like laws, success principles do not change to suit particular nations or skin colors. So do what you got to do, put your back into it, work hard, trust God, and commit your ways into His hands. When you've done all that, success will not elude you. Good morning. Now let me bring you the weather forecast.
He will never change, he'll do it again. You know He's the same, and He'll never change, he'll do it again.
On the weather front this morning is going to be fine with sunny spells. This afternoon it will linger into largely dry conditions, but cloud will thicken from the northwest. Now feeling much cooler than Sunday in gentle northerly winds. Now it's going to be largely cloudy this evening with the odd spot of rain possible into the night. Heavier showery rain will push up from the south, and moderate northeasterly wind will also develop. Temperature is going to be 19 degrees for London and 10 degrees will be the lowest. Now UV level is going to be moderate, pollen level is going to be high, and pollution is going to be moderate as well. Sunset is going to be at 20:18 and sunrise for tomorrow morning 05:39 hours. That brings us to the end of the weather forecast for you today, Monday the 27th day of April. If it is your birthday, I say a happy birthday to you. Let me quickly take you to the roads. Let me tell you what is happening there. But you can get that music playing in the background from Spotify from Miss Edith Morrison, and it says God can do it for you. But it's now time for the travel update. Stay tuned.
Check it out. Keep your eyes on the road. Will you be the children never told? Keep your eyes on the road. Check it out. Will you be the children never told? This is God on my mind here. Big shout out to all the people in Africa.
Yes, so keep your eyes on the roads, so we're keeping updated. I promise I'll on the Starr Radio UK travel update that comes your way every weekday from 10:45. Oh, okay. So I'm on a remote mission from 10:25. Okay. Yeah, so on the travel this morning, on the underground, apart from the Circle and Waterloo and City lines, all the others have got special service. Those are they are closed. Waterloo and City lines and Circle lines have been closed. Now London Overground, DLR, and London Tram, they good service there. But let's move on to the river bars this morning. As it stands, still RB1, RB2, RB4, RB5 are all suspended. Now, Woolwich, RB6 are having services there. Woolwich, reduced service. Now, on the National Rail this morning, East Midland Railways have got special service. Scott Rail, special service there as well. But keep your eyes on the roads. Keep your eyes on the roads. I will keep you navigated. I promise I'll born. Now, finally, let's come to the major roads in London. Let me tell you what is happening on the major roads in London, and then we'll bring the update to a close. On A10, there are closures, A13 closures, A20 closures, A21 closures, A4 closures, A40 closures, Central London Red Route closures, South Circular, A205 closures there as well. But remember, the lockdown is still on, so we'll continue to stay at home unless for essential duties or things to do. On that note, let me say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good dawn to you. Enjoy your commute for today, but you know what? Keep those eyes on the road.
Hi everyone, I'm Baby Clement, the author of How to Go from Employee to Entrepreneur. Just want to quickly tell you about a new and exciting radio show that I'm going to be hosting called BB Means Business. And I'll be discussing the importance of developing different income streams in today's climate and focusing on the small business as one such viable income stream. I'll be sharing valuable tips on how to set up a small business successfully and diversify into other areas. I'll also show you how to discover your gifts and your talents and how you can monetize them, all with the aim of helping your dream of becoming financially free become a reality. So join me, BB Clement, every Tuesday on Starr Radio at 1:30 p.m. Remember, don't let life dictate to you, rather, put your signature on life.
Hi guys, this is your friend from Sendwave. Sendwave is a money transfer app that you can download onto your smartphone and send money to Ghana and Nigeria. Sendwave is absolutely commission free. No matter how many times you send money or whatever the amount may be, you will never have to pay any commission ever. Your money is transferred in 30 seconds, and right now Sendwave is offering the best exchange rates in the market. Don't believe me? Look for yourself. Join me on the morning show on Starr Radio every Tuesday at 12:45 p.m. In the meantime, download the Sendwave app from the App Store or Google Play Store. Remember to use the promo code STARR to get £5 free credit. That's STARR. Bye for now.
Archie on Starr Radio UK. Nobody does it better.
Welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK. It is the favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. And before I go to bring you my first cavalry selected choice of song, the Prime Minister has returned to number 10, taking the helms of the governance, and has come out with his first statement yet to the nation. Now, in that, he did mention that the lockdown is still on. It's not time for us to release our faith from the the speedometer. We still need to be going on. If not, what did I say? The speed pedal, the accelerator, call it. Okay, it's not time for us to release. We still need to go on from there. But hey, he says that, well, if we don't do that, a second spate that will come, that could be disastrous. So what do you think about that? Maybe if you're a business person, you're thinking, no. The lockdown is causing us a great sum of losses. Now, it is about time that maybe we have a relook at it. But well, we know that they've set up to the 7th of May for another visit to that particular story. So we'll see how the medical team and the scientists now give the advice, and as to whether maybe come the 7th we'll have an easing of it, and that is how many days from now? Yes, maybe another 10 days from now. So we'll see how it all happens. That is Starr Radio UK for you. On April the 10th, Femi Gbajamila, the Speaker of the House of Representatives in Nigeria, summoned the Chinese ambassador Zhu Pingjiang to a meeting in Abuja. The purpose to give him a dressing down over the racist treatment of Africans during the coronavirus pandemic in the South China city of Guangzhou. It was an unprecedented move for an African politician, usually cast in a subservient role to China, which has become the continent's biggest donor and investor. But Gbajamila wanted the world to see it, so he posted a video of the meeting on Twitter. Now, I just touch on that because there's a lot of videos that have gone viral, and you look at the treatment that is being meted to blacks in China. Then I ask myself the question: do we really need to go to them, go hand calabash in hand, go begging when we know that this is how they see or treat us? Well, this and a lot more will be coming your way. But let's take this one from Nathaniel Bassi. It says Strong Tower. Enjoy it, and I'll be with you. Stay tuned. Don't touch the dial.
Your name is a strong tower, Jesus. To you belong all power, Jesus. Whenever I call your name, you always come and make a way. Your name is a strong tower, Jesus. Ooh, yeah. Your name is a strong tower, Jesus. To you belong all power, Jesus. Whenever I call your name, you make a way. Your name is a strong tower, Jesus. Your name is a strong tower, Jesus. To you belong all power, Jesus. Hey, whenever I call your name, you make a way. Your name is a strong tower, Jesus. When we pray in the name of Jesus, every knee must bow. When we pray in the name of Jesus, every knee must bow. When we pray in the name of Jesus, every knee must bow. When we pray in the name of Jesus, every knee must bow. Hey, your name is a strong tower, Jesus. To you belong, Jesus. Whenever I call you, make a way. Your name is a strong tower, Jesus. Your name is a strong tower, Jesus. To you belong all power, Jesus. Oh, whenever I call your name,
Well, that is Strong Tower for you from Nathaniel Bassi.
it's a strong
And this time, sir, you need God to be with you, of course. When it's all said and done, you've washed your hands, you kept yourself hygienically clean.
of Jesus
What more can help you? It takes only God.
and make
So, well, thank you, God, for protecting our listeners and our dear ones and our loved ones.
name of Jesus
And thank you for allowing them to join us this morning.
and make
So once again, welcome to the program Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London.
Waymaker, I call your name. To you belong all power, Jesus.
But like I said earlier on,
Call your name. You never disappoint.
the Prime Minister has returned to work.
Your name is
He said this is moment of maximum risk.
a waymaker.
There are signs the UK is passing the coronavirus peak, but we must be patient with the lockdown. So if you're listening to us this morning, I mean, when he was coming to give the speech, some of us were thinking maybe he's come to ease it. Some were saying, no, because of his experience with the COVID, he might not come to say that at all. He's going to say, no, guys, it's serious, so let's go on. And lo and behold, he came in and said, hey,
Your name is a strong tower.
we still have to go on.
To you belong.
We are passing through the coronavirus peak. But what if you're a business person listening to us, with the sufferings of your company, financially, I mean, we want there to be an ease ASAP. But some people are thinking that when people say that, they are putting money ahead of human beings. But looking at the statistics over the weekend, yesterday we had 400 plus people who passed. That would have been from the day before yesterday, right? Okay, that is for Saturday. So Sunday's one will be coming today. But the question is, with more than 20,000 people dead, would you want to push on for the lockdown to be eased? I want to say, well, we can look at what is happening in other countries. In Germany, there's a bit of a relaxing of the lockdown. But why we've not actually vamped up our testing? Well, we know today from yesterday we had the military who have joined in to also help on that role. So maybe that will vamp it up. We know the health secretary did say that by the end of the month we will have 100,000 tests a day. Are we anywhere near that? Well, Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Share the page with your friends and loved ones if you're on Facebook. Share the links with them if you are on Twitter, Periscope, YouTube. But you know, you can subscribe to our YouTube page as well. Now, those of you on who want to be using our apps, my goodness, it's the best apps, man. On the apps, we've got various sectors there, or segments there, or places there. Now you can go to our TV section and you can watch us live from there as well. Okay, so make sure that you do that. Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Let me say morning to Kwame, my brother Kwame. How are you? And the other story that I did touch on. How the Chinese have been treating Africans. There were some videos that I saw over the weekend, and some were very, very disturbing. I don't know how long it's been taking though. But if anything of the sort had been done to any of our kind, do you think that it's about time we go? So, calabash in hand, not borrowing. But somebody did say, send a message the other time to me saying that, look, because the Chinese are overpopulated, now they want another continent to now depopulate. So they want to go populate Africa. Well, I don't know how true that is though. But do you think that we still have to go on going to them, Lala Sumila, give us something, and look at the way they treat our own citizens? Well, I want to have your take on all of that. But isn't a lot more we're having a look at this morning. Stay tuned. Well, I'm not here by myself. I've been joined by my colleague and representative, Mr. Frank Davis, in the house. So I'll quickly go to him for his greetings, and then we go on from there. Well, it is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Just bear with me. What's a lineup, Mr. Frank Davis, for you?
You're my shield and buckler. Jesus, that is who you are. Jesus, you're my horn of power. Jesus, you're the great I am.
Like I announced earlier on,
When I call your name, make a way. Your name is
exactly at 11 o'clock, we have Mr. Olayomi going to be joining us to bring us updates from Nigeria.
Your name is a strong tower. Jesus, to you belong.
But stay tuned, don't touch the dial.
Jesus, whenever I call your make a way. Your name is a
In your short at the moment is Mr. Frank Davis. Let me go to him for his greetings and see how he is doing. Frank, good morning to you.
Archie, good morning to our listeners wherever they might be. It's a lovely morning, a lovely weekend, a lovely morning. What can we say? But Archie, before we say Jack, let me do one too. I've been blessed to have a very tight family.
Okay.
A very close one. My siblings were very, very close. And this happens to be today happens to be the birthday of one of the brothers of
okay.
Kennedy.
Oh my!
He follows us. He listens to us. Today marks his birthday, and I would like to say, 2 Aprils.
Okay.
My mom did.
Your mom, no, it's the old man calculation. That was right,
Yeah. So, Kennedy, I'd like to use this opportunity to say a happy birthday to you, wherever you might be. I know you listen to us, and I know you're following us closely. So, happy birthday to you, Kennedy. Archie,
yes.
Today in history, to 48 years ago, my idol, someone I look up to, actually passed on.
Wow.
Dr. Kwame Nkrumah.
Okay.
Today, the 48 years ago, he actually died at Bucharest.
Okay.
So we say postmortem condolences on the day that he died. But it reminds us that some people have come and some people have left us.
Yeah.
And we are here. We also one day leave.
But how have you been?
I've been good. It was a challenge yesterday, but we're in here.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing. We're back on our feet.
Yes. Now, interestingly, did you listen to the Prime Minister's
yes, I followed him
closely.
And I like him when he's full of so much energy. And when Boris is full of energy, you see him talking. It's as if he's rocking on his feet, going up and down on his feet. I said, this is Boris trying to show that, look, COVID could not take me.
Yes.
And I'm back to defeat COVID with all my powers and all that I have within me. So that's what I think he came to do. And he made very, very, important points in my view, which again shows a strong departure from his brother and what they call friend Boris, what they call it,
Trump.
Very, very cautious in how we proceed as a country. Very, very cautious in not to put economy ahead of
the health of the nation.
Because at the end of the day, if the health of the nation is at risk, the economy will be nowhere. It's like chicken and egg argument. Which one comes first? So he was measured in his comments, reassuring and welcoming the pressure from the businesses, but telling them, look, I bear your pain, I feel it, I know it, but we have a question to ask. Do we take our foot off the brakes now and risk another wave of what you do not want now, or we exercise a bit more patient so that planning, in case of planning, when you go back, you are going back for good. When you go back, you are going back for certainty. When you go back, you know that the situation is under control. No, this is not a lottery. This is not a lottery. We might go back and tomorrow we are back again. So I was very pleased, I might say, with his address this morning and key important things that he touched on.
Okay. Now let's come to the other issue that I was talking about. I think over the weekend I sent you a couple of videos about, or you might have sent me. Somebody sent me a video about what is happening in China. What has happened? Okay, pertaining to the way they've treated blacks. I mean, it's been going on for the past a month now after their lockdown was lifted.
All right.
Now, the question is at the moment China is one of the nations that African countries virtually I think let me say about 70% of African countries are leaning on financially. Okay. Now with the treatment that they are emitting to us, do you think that we still have to go calabash in hand and saying Sumila, give us something?
Actually, I do have a bit of a problem with the whole approach towards China. I do accept that China provide financial aid and financial assistance to most African countries without the conditions that IMF and World Bank have used to assist the West to rape our countries of their resources in the past. But China is using a more of another dangerous method that if we do not take time, the countries of Africa will wake up fighting again the battle our grandfathers, our forefathers fought for us. Before I come to that, I told you about someone that we know in China who was actually sacked from his apartment. there has been development over the last few days. In fact, he was arrested from the hideout, taken for compulsory medical test. They did a test. They found out nothing. He has nothing on him. What they did then was to give him a 1-month visa, telling him that, look, your visa has been renewed, restructured to 1 month, and within 1 month we do not want you in the country. So go your way, but 1 month we do not want you in the country. If after 1 month the flying embargoes have not been lifted, come back and we extend it. But as soon as the flying they say
virtually they're deporting you. Yeah,
that's basically what they're saying.
Yeah.
So even they are deporting, they're not going to put it on the flight or anything. Find your way out. That's basically and that happened over the last few days. It's a story I follow because we know the person.
Okay.
So it's something that we follow to find out what exactly is happening.
Going on.
Actually, if you look at China as a country, they are overpopulated.
Yeah.
If you been to China and you look at even their houses, the flats that they build, we take land even in this country. Some of us call our roofs virgin roofs.
Yeah.
We call our apartment chicken coops.
Yeah.
Unlike I remember traveling to Ghana with a friend of mine, and we entered a house, and he was like, is this a church building or a cathedral or what is it? I said, it's someone's house. It's someone's house. Went to a house in I said, someone's house. He said, what are they doing for all that? I said, well, this is how
we live. That's how we
live in this country. That even if the person doesn't not have money, when you go to their village, they have a huge compound when the air is able to blow, and when even viruses, air will blow it away. Where viruses are contained like a hen coop. So actually, China, if we complain about the UK one, the China one is so serious. Your living room is actually 3 bedrooms, basically how you look at it. Most of the hotels got bunk beds. I mean, actually,
really?
Yes, the kind of bunk bed type. And most of the apartments very, very tiny. You enter your bedroom is your bedroom. It's not a large room where you put chairs down. Yeah. So your living room, I'm talking about your personal living room. It's actually 3 bedrooms. It's actually a bedroom for 3 people. The way it's configured, that is the kind of thing you see in China. I'm just talking about the population density. How densely that population is. And especially the countries where they have industry like Shenzhen and all those, Guangzhou and all those, is where the population is so high. You look at it and you ask yourself, how are they going to cope? Even with that, with one couple, one child policy, it still hasn't helped that much. But for it would have been worse. Now, China is exporting what it has. It has human beings in excess. It is exporting it. So what China has been doing is give you money instead of preconditions. The kind of conditions we have is to export our people. Now, when we export our people, there are 2 objectives. They might get people to marry and therefore become citizens of that particular countries. They might buy assets in those countries and through that are able to settle. And therefore, you look at most of African countries, Chinese are not getting nationality. And once you have that nationality, you bring more people into the country. So China has a strategic interest to able to colonize in one way or the other economically. What do you call it? A lot of African countries without knowing. Look, you go to a lot of our areas now, a lot of farms, lands, and other. I don't blame them because we have not put in place. We cannot see their strategic plan. We've not been able to see it. Therefore, we've not worked towards it to be able to identify some of these things. And now, when it comes to dealing with China, Archie, I think we have to be very, very, very careful. Most of these things we call financial assistance to us are not financial assistance, so to say. If you take a country like Congo, this I know for a fact that some of the leaders of those countries could now with the Chinese to take over the ports. That monies that came into that country were not money from China, but money from within the country that was recycled into giving loans to that country to become like aids or financial assistance that they've taken over. So actually, we need to be very, very careful into that in how we look at it. we do not have regulations like the way we do have if I stand up to buy land, for instance, in this country, I have to go to checks, proper planning, and other things. In Africa, what they call it, a chief take a stone and throw somewhere. Although a lot of it is coming, becoming
now changing.
now. And they sell their land to them. I recall meeting a chief somewhere in 2014 in my office, and he was one of those who were duped by the Chinese. And he told me that, look, what the Chinese did when they came to him, they were looking for a place to mine. They went through some powerful person who came to them, and they came to tell him that they've been to Accra, the land registry, they've asked them to come to this area where they find gold and other things that they think they can mine. They should come for a documentation, or they have a letter to say that they've been in a country. Then what then happens is, when they succeed in getting a place, you sign an agreement. They give him $12,000. $12,000 what they gave that man. That's all they gave him. That's all they gave him. The man is even here. He lives at Stockwell. He lives at Stockwell. Now, they take that document that you signed with the chief. They take it back to Accra that the chief has now given us land. So so they play the chief and the authorities. So they go to the chief first to tell you.
The authorities say giving them the mandate to come.
Then you give them this, and then they go rather say, chief. That's what it. And that's what. And he was so furious when he got to know the truth and the facts about it, and mostly with politicians conniving with it. As it's a very, very difficult situation. We need to be able to understand the interests of China, the geographical interest and the geo-economic interests of China in Africa. What happened in Zimbabwe was the land reformation was as a direct result of the minority controlling the vast portion of the land. And it gets to a point they couldn't. What is happening in South Africa today, we still see a bit of skirmishes of potential trouble, because the South African things that post-Mandela era, the needful or the needed thing was to redistribute land, which did not happen. And today the minorities control the vast land. Now, if you go to what is happening when Chinese enter in agriculture, they are buying lands. Are we creating the conditions that led to what we saw in Zimbabwe, what we see in South Africa now? Because that's how it started. That's how it started. Okay. So, in my view, as Africans, we need to now rethink what can happen and what shouldn't happen. How should we relate to the Chinese in the interest of our long-term goal? Unfortunately for us, most of our politicians, most of the leaders who find themselves to be taking those decisions on our behalf have short-term goals. Have short-term goals. Their goals is, let me win election, let me remain in power, and the future will take care of itself. So the majority of the decisions that they are taking, they're not taking decisions how will my actions today impact on a generation yet to be born, or someone who has not, probably the parents have not even met. 50 years down the line, what will be the impact of this action of my action today? They don't look at it now. What will be the impact of my action today on my electoral fortune? Are you getting me? How about my bank account? How will it influence it? Will it increase the amount of money I have? Will it put me at a position where I can change my car every 6 months? Will you put me at a position where I can contribute to the party finances, and therefore when we are in power, or when we happen to be in power, I can be appointed a minister, and therefore more leverage, more access to wealth, more access to people who come. So those are the kind of things. We do not have agendas. Okay? We do not have national agendas. And if you look at it, it is the same thing that the West did to us. All over this.
Colonizing us.
A different approach. Okay? A different, but it all leads to the same thing. Another thing that China has succeeded in doing to us is to be able to undermine our local industry very, very quickly. Our textile industries are collapsing. Not even collapse. They almost collapsed. Now you can see Chinese driving taxis everywhere. Yes, they are now into retail and truck taxis and other things.
Well, if the person is a national, you can't do anything about it.
Okay, so how are we protecting the unskilled labor in our economy if we allow these people to encourage them? Are you getting me?
Yeah.
Yes, we are foreigners in this country, but there are things we can do. There are things we cannot do. We can't do.
Yeah.
And I think that must be made clear, and we might have to look at the long-term impact of what China is doing in Africa. Yes, we do welcome them. I do welcome trade. I do welcome doing good business. I do welcome, but I think we are opening our shores, our borders too much, and our decisions are going to hurt us in the next few years to come.
Well, listeners, Starr Radio UK, I was trying to see whether the African Union, as the AU, has reacted to the way the Chinese are treating the Africans. But I think the order that I've got is AU called the steps to step in as concerns over Africans treatment in China, and mounts a group of concerned African politicians has called for an investigation into claims of xenophobia against the continent's nationals in China. That is all. So the AU itself has not come to say anything. This is some of the leaders who are saying that, look, AU, come on, rise up, do something or say something.
I watched a video. I think we'll go Olayomi.
Yeah, we've got Olayomi.
Okay, all right, let's.
Well, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK. We've got Mr. Olayomi Koiki, who has joined us. Let's go to him and let's have a chat. I know the Nigerian, is it Badamila? Olayomi will tell you who Badamila is, and then his reaction, how he also addressed or called the Chinese ambassador to Nigeria and dressed him, gave him a dress down, and posted that whole thing on Twitter. Maybe that is making them see that we will not take it there. But Yomi, good morning to you.
Good morning, Mr. Archie, and a very good morning to you, Frank, in the studio. Good morning to all our viewers and those that are following us on every platform of Starr Radio UK. We welcome you again to the 27th of April 2020, live from Edmonton, where we are reporting from this morning, and I'll go slightly back to you in the studio.
Yes. So how are you? How was your weekend?
Well, the weekend was very good, as long as you're staying at home. And I mean, it was good to be out, not on it every day, but I mean, we still have to do what we have to do, reporting from outside once in a while, which we did on Friday. And just on the conversation you were saying, I will go back into that slightly. But yes, I think I've had a very good weekend. But again, we just have to keep monitoring what is happening globally and how we can be able to be hopeful, just like the Reverend Mother Esther Abimbola Ajayi was saying during a sermon yesterday, that as much as everybody wants everything to go back to normal, the Prime Minister said we will keep the engine of this country going, but we have to be hopeful that when things get back to normal, everything will just fall back like nothing has happened. But for now, I am hopeful as well.
Well, I know you are of the Muslim faith. Now, how has the Ramadan been going whilst you are on lockdown? How has it been going?
Well, the most important thing is, there's not much difference in terms of, the normal day to day. But the only difference is, a lot of people would love to travel to Saudi Arabia if they have the fund. And if you haven't got the fund, it's always been a gathering where, it's always been a time where people gathered, especially, during the late evening of breaking your fast with the other Muslim fellows, and also, putting it where you can sit down together, the other Tawsil prayer that does happen. But also we've seen other people in Abuja that have continued to disobey the gathering rules of it, where yesterday a mosque, an imam was apprehended, also a pastor was apprehended, and being quoted in both both the Bible and the Quran, that it says that you have to obey those in power. That's part of what you have to listen to. Yeah. And it seems you are not getting that message, and you are also creating a situation where things might go haywire. But apart from that, Yes, we've seen Saudi Arabia say they might open slightly their mall a little bit, but again, situation in Nigeria, a country that has huge amount of Muslims during the Ramadan, not enough food, businesses are short. We'll look at those indexes this morning as we continue with the update.
Okay, listen to Starr Radio UK. Mr. Olayomi keep bringing you updates from Nigeria from his base in Edmonton, London. Now, let's come to the question that I was asking before we go to some other issues. Now, Bada Miller, who is one of the leader in leadership in Nigeria, called the ambassador of China, because there are some videos that have gone viral about the treatment of Africans in China. And he gave him a dress down. That is how the Twitter post is saying. He gave him a dress down. But what else has Nigerians said, and what has the government said about it? Can you give us a bit of detail about that address?
Well, the Chinese and the Nigerian community in China, and before we go further, just after I had the broadcast on Friday, I took a single protest to the Chinese embassy myself on Friday to their embassy here in London, where I was transmitting that to indicate that we will not, because the virus itself came out of China, and it seems they want to put the blame on Africans. And I can tell you the reaction from Friday up to now has been overwhelmed with the amount of messages that I've received from Nigerians and other Africans that are living in China. Some of them are not even allowed to get back into their hotel. They've been locked out. Some of them have been quarantined for more than 14 days. And some of them don't even know the kind of food they have been given, as we speak. I have a lot of, audio and video that they're also sending all the way from China. So going back to your question, the foreign minister, before I go back to the House Speaker, Femi Gbajabiamila, that had that engagement with the ambassador, that was about almost a few weeks back now. The foreign minister was asked, because again, one of the print media in Nigeria said we had about 72 infected Nigerians in China. That was rebutted by the foreign minister, saying there's not up to 72, there's about maybe 9 or 12, but we've seen the maltreatment of Nigerians in China, and they are doing everything possibly best to engage with their counterparts in Nigeria. Also, the question was raised, when will they be able to bring back those Nigerians that want to come back? We've got to remember, some live there, some went there for business purpose, some are schooling there. When are they bringing them back? That is going to be a cost on the Nigerians there, which some of them are saying they don't have the money. It's going to cost about $2,000, if not a little bit less, to bring them back. The federal government is saying that at the moment they're doing everything possibly best, but Nigeria doesn't have the money to pay for people to come back, which again brings me back to some of the Nigerians that are also stuck here in the United Kingdom. We have 2,000 Nigerians that have been caught up with this pandemic that are not living here. They came here for one reason or the other, but the federal government, according to what the last presidential task force that was held in Abuja on Friday says, we haven't got 2,000 isolation centers to put all these individuals. None of the hotels are ready to bring them into their hotel for reputation damage. And that is now saying Nigerians that are here, just like we've seen the other way around where British citizens have been evacuated back, they can't guarantee that the ones that will come back will stay indoor for 14 days. And the problem is, where do we put them? Some of them are here. Money has been exhausted. Situation is changing on a day by day. We just have to wait and see what next will happen. I will go back straight to you in the studio. Once again, it is your favorite African Caribbean radio station, Starr Radio UK.
Frank, this is very interesting. Now, when we've seen all this that is going on, the videos and everything, and we have the what do you call the Speaker of Parliament addressing this Chinese ambassador and everything, and our leaders say, we don't have money to repatriate our own citizens.
Right.
And therefore, let them be there. Let them face the full rigors. I mean, some of them are students who have gone there to go study, to come and help our nation.
Right.
Some are business entities, business people who have gone there to go and import things, bring them, sell, and give work to those our own citizens as well.
Right.
But we're saying that we don't have the money.
Right. Actually, they are telling they don't have the money, and probably they don't have it. That is one, because you see, in your household, sometimes you have money, but it's about what you put your priority on, what you want to use the money for. The question is, whenever our leaders or our governments are drawing up their annual budgets, and they put a budget, or probably when the foreign ministries are actually prepared, do they have anything like contingency funds, emergency funds? I know, let's say country like Ghana, for example, have the consultant that sometimes they set charge in case of emergency. This is an emergency. I'm not saying they should go and repatriate anybody, but I'm saying that if the need be that they need to repatriate people, if it has got to a point where the people want to be repatriated back, the government should not tell us that they have no money. Part of the COVID donation that they've done, can't they pay for a plane? To go and take them? We saw individuals donating flights to go and bring Africans from South Africa. Can't the Nigerian authority also engage them? And again, it's not even about Nigerian authorities alone. Can't we have a bit of, in fact, if the people want to come back to Africa, then I think we should do whatever it takes to assist them. We have seen that Europe, America will do everything to bring. In fact, my own, a friend of mine actually landed in the UK on last week, Saturday, from Nigeria, from Abuja. I mean, through one of these repatriation efforts by the British government. They landed over here. So if they can do it, what can't you do it? How much will it cost? If it is money to be set aside for political campaign, quickly. So, again, it goes back to one thing: the value we placed on Africans as human beings, the value our authorities place on human life. If we value an African, if we value our citizens, the decisions that we take, we put them first. But from what I've seen so far, I don't think our leaders value us enough. And what we like to some extent, we even don't value ourselves well enough. We do not. You get me? It's an issue. But actually, going forward, we might have to start a bit of more of talking, engaging authorities. And I congratulate the speaker for what he did. But Lord, it shouldn't end there. It should inform policy decisions. It should inform the kind of loans they sign. It should inform how they scrutinize bills that come before them, which undermine, the well-being of our people in the interest of foreign investors. Today it might be Chinese, tomorrow is the Indians. Today it might be the Chinese, tomorrow it might be French. Are you getting me? So if he knows that the way they treat us, I'm not saying we should be treating the Chinese. In fact, to a point, some of us even called for, the tooth for an eye for an eye kind of situation in our part of the world. Actually, that's
honestly, I called for that. Honestly, I was so furious. I was fuming like no man's business. So I decided to send those messages to the media houses in Ghana that if they've not seen it, this is something that they see. They need to make sure that they make noise about it for the leaders to say that.
They've all seen it. The leaders have seen it all. They've seen it all, Archie.
Let me say good morning to Rose Periwinkle Roseboom. Roseboom, wherever you are, thank you very much for joining us and listening or watching us as well. Thank you very, very much. Let's go back to Mr. Olayomi. You said you sent the petition to the Chinese embassy here in London. Now, what was their reaction?
Well, the door was not open. What we did was because we know there's a lot of hunger within the not just Nigerian but the African community with a lot of images coming out from China and the maltreatment that has been taking place in most African countries before even COVID-19. So what we did was we did what we call the same virtual online protest. While I was there transmitting, we had about almost 20,000 people that was able to log in with different platforms that were broadcasting the data protest, and we also had the telephone engagements where people were able to call in, which was quite and that also was now able to give us more insight of the Africans that are there. Like I said, there will be more videos that we're expecting them to send to us and then we can start releasing that, gradually as well. But with the voice note that have been sent so far, pregnant. Some of them are. Some of our women there, and they are now living in a very, very difficult time in China.
Well, listeners, Starr Radio UK. Now, the other question that I wanted to come on, but that will be after we've had the update from Olayomi, is should Africans now go to the West or the East? Let me put it that way. When I talk about the East, I'm talking about China for loans.
Actually, Africans should go to Africa. That's the first thing. Africans should go to Africa.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%.
Africa should go to Africa. That is where our thinking. You see, this thinking that we must either go to the West or the Chinese is in itself self-defeating. We see, we must start thinking that Africa goes to Africa. If UK needs money, this COVID period, when UK wanted money, did they talk? They were not thinking, should we go
to America? As America, no.
They thought about what they could do themselves first. How they could raise money. It was only African countries that we heard IMF preparing this for. The question is, what could we have done first? What could we have done for ourselves first? Yeah. And if we do not think through what we can do first for ourselves and within our own borders, with our own brothers, it's not going to happen. If the first thing, the first thought that comes to mind, whenever we're thinking, whatever comes to our mind first is, are we going to IMF? Are we going to UK? Or we start listing them, US aid, Danida, China, they say. Actually, the most your mind start focusing over there, whatever you can do for yourself is gone.
It's gone.
So Africans should first start thinking, when all else fails, we might look at.
We look within.
We look within. When even that fails, then we can start looking outside.
Yeah.
But we are at the point where we do not look within. We believe in this notion that it's money that is coming in. It's money that is coming. The question we should be asking, all those monies that have come in up to this time.
Yeah.
How has it gone to benefit us?
Yeah.
If we don't take time, we'll get to a point where we begin to act and we basically put ourselves, open our countries, our economies down like the way, and allow them to bully us like the way the Malians were treated by the French in the past. You know that story when getting to independence, the Malian and the Guinean refused to sign the document that was prepared, which basically says that although you are what do you call it, you are independent, but you are still independent. The independent will continue.
Yeah.
And the French went and poured concrete, concrete in drainage that have been built.
Wow.
You don't know?
I don't know about that.
The French government, they went and poured concrete in all the.
It broke the drainage.
The drainage in France and Mali.
What they call in Guinea and Mali.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. Interesting. Well, but Yomi, I'm coming back to you. I know you're going to give us the update, but do you think, like Frank is saying, do you agree with him there, or do you think that maybe we'll be going to the West? They've been helping us all this while. I mean, but look at what you said about what the French did to Guinea and Mali. Do you think we need to look inwards? And when we are looking inwards, who are we looking at? Nigeria is the giant of Africa. Nigeria is saying, look, even our own people who are out there, we cannot even go. We don't have the money to go. So who are we going to be looking up to?
Well, we can look up to each other, and I'll give an example. I saw in one of the WhatsApp group, which is an agricultural group that I'm inside, and I was quite impressed to see that the Kenya Airways has now converted most of their aircraft as a cargo aircraft, taking up fresh vegetables, coming to London here, and that is quite interesting, and I would love to see more of that. I mean, if we are struggling with our own, bringing some of those produce out, as an example, from Ghana or from Kenya, from Nigeria and other African countries, why are those aircraft that are sitting down right now should be doing the same thing? That would also be helping us internally to generate our own revenue. We have the manpower, we have the resources, but I think what we've not been able to see is the coordinations of how things should work, and where we have leaders that are not even ready to engage with each other more. Let's hope now that the president has been appointed by the ECOWAS as head, Let's see, maybe that will make any impact as well. The AU. So there's opportunity for Africans to work together, but whether that would happen after this whole COVID-19, we need to start industrializing the whole of Africa so that we can be able. We need to industrialize that continent. We need to produce what we eat. We need to produce what we wear. We need to produce everything that we hold. I mean, I was watching, the mainstream media this morning, again talking about Africa in terms of the preparedness of the COVID-19, which again we saw what happened during the Ebola time. We were able to tackle it, but to rely so much on on the donor from the IMF and the World Bank, I think it's time now that that the African countries should come together and work more together.
Okay, it's time for African countries to come together and work together. So what is happening apart from this in Nigeria, sir?
Well, let's firstly say good morning to those that have joined us on the other side here. From my side, Shuaibu, Olakunle, Latif, Shegun, Oyesoya, Abi, Otumba Bada, and Adekayode, and Royal Excellence. Keep sharing the page. The number again has gone up, but before we go that, I will tell you the figure where we are at the moment. The president might be addressing Nigerians if information that is coming through the wire is right. We do know that the second lockdown for FCT and Ogun State and Lagos is expiring today, so we should expect maybe another lockdown. We've seen some of the governors that have addressed a letter to the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, that they would love to see a kind of joint interlock within the state to curb and slow down the spread of the virus. But one thing that we can tell you now is that the number of patients has increased to over 8,000. So that means we are now 1,273 people that have got the coronavirus. But the good news is 239 people have discharged. But the bad news is the number that was only about one death few weeks back is now climbing up, and we now have a total of 40 deaths. The Kano situation doesn't seem to be clearer because for 2 days in a row, nothing is coming out from the Nigerian Center for Disease Control in terms of testing of people in Kano. So that means we don't have any number coming out of Kano. We've seen death rise, and we've seen them being published out. But the Kano State governor is saying that that is due to some other ailment happening within the state. Kano is still a beam light to need to be looked into. Why there's a lot of people that have died in Kano, but the Kano State governor, the government is rather saying that is not the case. So we'll have to wait and see the official coming out of the Nigerian Center for Disease Control. The president also engaged with the minister yesterday, and the NCDC DG, met with the president Muhammadu Buhari yesterday. Let's now go ahead with some of the other updates coming out of Nigeria this morning. Nigeria recorded 91 new coronavirus cases, a total now of 1,273. FCT mobile court convict clerics, 68 others. 2 COVID-19 patients have escaped Borno Isolation Center. That is quite worrying if people can still escape. We've seen not that alone in Borno. We've seen that before in Osun State, and we've seen that as well in some other states, that people are escaping the isolation center. Why is that? Is a lot of things that need to be looked into. Osun State have now recorded 2 coronavirus deaths in that particular state as well. And like I did mention earlier, the Minister of NCDC boss met Buhari over lockdown. Kano death. El Rufai, the Kaduna State governor, has now extended 30 days full lockdown of the state, starting from yesterday. Bauchi receives 196 Alemajiri from Plateau State. So it seems now some states are moving out the Alemajiri, which are mostly the children out of their state. And it just shows, like Frank was saying there, whether that state could have kept the children rather than sending them away to another state. It's just kind of a lot of things to look into. Ondo rejects expired federal government palliative rice. There's been a lot of videos of that particular rice that have been distributed that also is not consumable for human as well. One died as custom smuggle clash in Ogun State. Again, not a very good news for those in the business sector, as the dollar sells for 450 naira to $1 in a parallel market. So that means you will need 450 naira to $1 if you're in any kind of business. And we have to now say to ourselves, it's time that we produce what we consume. Whatever part of Africa it has to come from, if it has to be Nigeria, we can't continue taking the money that we don't have, because our foreign reserve is completely almost going down, and until we're able to produce more, we can then export and make more money as well. There's also Unilag, one of the medical center, is now on a full lockdown as well. Also coronavirus, Nigeria desperately looking for test kits, says NCDC, Nigerian Center for Disease Control. Oyo State has confirmed 3 fresh COVID-19 cases. Castina lists 455 contacts that they are looking for. That is also something to worry about. Also, before I go back slightly to you in the studio, we do know that we have not got enough electricity running in the country, but despite Genco's 200 billion naira fund, gas shortage stalls at 23,000 megawatts. Also infected, Nigeria will be treated in China, according to the federal government as well, just part of what we were discussing earlier. And on that note, let me say the Nigerian Medical Association to support health workers with $500 million equipment. Also, we will now go back to you in the studio, and we continue to look at some more of the update if time permits. Once again, this is Star Radio UK.
Yes, Star Radio UK. Let me say good morning to KB Bossman and Mr. Kofi Ali Yakin. Kofi, how are you doing? And Pastor Emmanuel Chidi, thank you very much for joining us as well. But in reaction to as whether African countries should go to the east or the west for loans, KB Bossman say no. All that we need is African unity. He thinks that if you have African unity, then you can borrow from each other rather than going outside there. Okay.
And just before you go further, let me quickly put this in, because this happened yesterday when we're talking about security, not in the north, coming close to the south in Ekiti. Yesterday, just about almost 10:30 p.m., there was a breaking news that the governor, Fayemi, Commissioner, Agriculture of, I'll repeat that again, the Ekiti State Governor, his commissioner for agriculture, Folorunsho Olabode, was abducted in Ekiti State while traveling from the state capital Ado Ekiti to his hometown. One of the councillors that was with him was gone dead, and at the moment they're still looking for that commissioner for agriculture in that particular state. Ekiti State is in southwest, and that also indicates the security concerns that is still ravaging in the country.
Wow. Wow, listen to Star Radio UK. Now let's come to the Alimajuri. I hope I pronounce it well. The kids, Alimajuri, where the kids are being moved from one state, especially I think in Kano, they are moving them out to other states. Now the question is, are those kids from those other states? Then the second question is, have those kids been tested as to whether they have tested positive, or maybe they don't have even symptoms of COVID-19? So when we are taking them to another state, is it a state that we are taking them to where there are no COVID cases there? What exactly is going on with that?
Well, I just mentioned about Bauchi State, where these individuals have been moved from Kano. So let's take a look at it. Kano has not done any tests in the last 2 days. We've seen all kind of cases coming out of Kano. The governor of the state have debunked that news, but we do know that as of today, not even coming out from the NCDC. Your question is whether they have been tested. The answer is no. The other question is whether it was right to move them out of Kano to another state, or either have them in that state and put them in a very good center and take care of them. It shows that, yes, I mean, we know that these individuals, they move from one state to the other, looking for opportunity. But is it the best time, during a COVID-19, to allow children to be moved around, knowing that one infected infect others as well? A lot of questions that we can continue to raise that doesn't have an answer as we speak.
Are those children, what do you call them? Should I say, I don't know how to put it. Don't they have parents?
Another big question. Boko Haram has really damaged so much that most of them are also, orphans that are just moving from one end to the other. And some of them, as we know, a lot of, most people give birth to them, and then because they don't have the fund to take care of them, and they're left on their own to what they call a hustle, or find their own way to survive in a continent where we have everything. But taking care of our own children, not just in Nigeria, is one big task that we've not been able to fix that problem. And that is something that, has been a big issue. We do know that the government is doing everything possibly best to, to continue to take care of them. But in terms of the number of them being moved from one state to the other, it's quite alarming as well.
Now, Frank, let me come to you about social care when it comes to our continent.
Yeah.
I know, Kofi, you are listening to us, so when you have time, I wanted you to address something. I don't know what the ECOWAS says about social care when it comes to children like that, those vulnerable in our societies. Now, do we have anything like that? Because in Ghana they have a social minister.
We have a gender. We do, and I know most of the states do have ministries that are actually set up to handle some of these issues. It's just like the way we say Africans lacks no laws, but it's the implementation of the law. That's where we do have a huge vacuum. So if you look at Nigeria, who has a minister that is supposed to be in charge of it, and the states who have someone, welfare department, that's supposed to be in charge with this. But the question again is, what are they doing? Are they well resources enough? Or have we built structures that are robust enough to be able to help some of these people? And we know the old time answer is still the same. We know not up to scratch, not up to date, and not efficient as they should have it. So the parents and people who are confronted with these problems will try and do what they can and within the resources that they have, the constraint that they have. But actually, it's a big problem that will go beyond one state to the another, because even the condition you are moving them into, we do not know. That's another thing. But actually, let me move from there and touch on something Olayomi actually spoke about, which is about the death that are occurring in Kano, and we seems not to know the truth about it. Because the reports are that there's another ailment, another disease that is even more deadly than COVID that is killing people. The question is, why the health authorities not telling us exactly what it is? Now, if you look at Ghana and if you look at the northern part of Ghana, meningitis, within the recent few weeks has killed many people. In fact, 4 times more than
what COVID has killed.
And they know it's meningitis. If you look at the climatic conditions in northern part of Ghana, those same conditions can be seen in Kano. Could it be something like that is happening in Kano?
Okay.
Because we know what spinal meningitis, when it gets you, it doesn't last. It takes you away. Is it the same thing that we're seeing in Kano? We expect our health authorities to be more proactive. If people are dying and you're telling that it's not COVID, then there's something that is happening over there that we need to understand what is killing these people. Because we cannot have a lot of people dying unexplained death. No, it can't happen and it shouldn't happen. If it is not anything else and it's COVID, then let's know that we have on our hands a problem huge and bigger than we thought. And then let's deal with it that way. But we cannot hide the problem, especially this is about health. It will result in death. Families will lose, friends will lose wives, will lose husbands, will lose children, and other things. If we're going to play the usual politics with it, I'm afraid, it's not going to help any. So Nigerians should demand, and Kano State citizens should demand from their health authorities to produce evidence, or to at least families who have no loved ones deserve the right, or must have the right, to know what actually killed their their family, their loved ones. If we do not do that, then we're creating the necessary condition for people not to take precaution. Because if it is COVID, let us know it's COVID. All right, let us know. In fact, Nigeria did not start the COVID.
No,
they didn't create COVID in Azarok and brought it and spread it
on the people.
But it's now with us. What we do, if it is COVID, let's understand it is COVID. Let's take more people will even know that, look, it's killing. And people will do more, will be willing to even partner with the government, partner with the state, partner with the health authorities to do more, knowing that this is what is happening.
Yeah.
If it is not, then let's know what is killing people at this rate. You cannot have deaths and unexplained, and nobody seems to be telling us the truth.
You know, the other time I did ask Olayomi the question as to whether postmortem is being those people who die are being they are performing postmortem on them, and he was saying, but what the question I want to find out is, before COVID came, were there postmortem conducted on people who die there?
They do. Some of them will do, by all means, Archie.
Because of our religious beliefs. I mean, they'll say, oh, you died today, oh no, they have to bury you the next this and then purple. So there might be some underlying issues going on.
There are communities that will not put, because take a typical village, someone is dead. Look, I'll give you a classic example of something that was close to me, myself, where someone actually committed suicide. It was unexplained because the surroundings, how it all happened, and the scene, the images that came out of when the person, you know this story. The images that came out of that scene was something that some of us were questioning, that whether it was suicide
or somebody
murder or this thing. But the parents of the young boy actually were not interested in any post-mortem. The only thing they were interested in, the so-called tradition, calling the ghost, let's bury the person and all that. That's what they were interested in. Even when there was insistence that, look, the police must investigate this. The body must be deposited at the mortuary for an
autopsy to be done.
Autopsy to be done to find out exactly what might have resulted in the death of this person. The parents says no, they were not interested. What can you do in such situations? You got a family who have lost a loved one within a Muslim setting. They want to bury the person within 24 hours. Mind you, the next hospital that they need to get an expert from or take the body to is probably 200 miles away. The cost of taking the body will be on them. It's not like you call 111, you call 999, and an ambulance comes to convey the body. You now have to go and look for your own car, how to take the body, and then you go to the mortuary. It's not like you have an insurance policy where it's going to take off. So you look at the financial implications again on the family. They'll sit down and calculate. The person is dead. Are we better off going to spend so much money trying to understand how he died, and then because we went to bury no state
whatever it is,
or die.
Wow. Yomi, let me acknowledge a couple of people. Dorcas Amwe, thank you very much for joining us as well. Share the page with your friends and loved ones. Starr Radio UK.
Let me say also, Siddiq Abubakar, good morning to you. Councillor Alexander Akrufi, John Voni, Habada Prosper, and Abba Flourish, Tampuri Latif, Zaneb Mauli, Linus, good morning to you. Then Yao Bosunu, also good morning to you. Ali Mohammed, Norman Nelson, and Verkaba Mavis Akuf. Good morning to all of you.
Mavis, morning to you. I hope you are doing very well. She said that this his brother never looked for. I'm looking for you now.
Delawish, good morning to you as well.
Yomi.
I say good morning to Amolo, good morning to Duro Jue, good morning to Olo Olasheyi. I want us to listen to this, it's about 2 minutes, 21 seconds, and this was a woman that lost her son-in-law in Kano. This video, this audio came out, and also it's been used at all the mainstream media in Nigeria, and I just want our listeners to listen to that based on the discussion on Kano. Again, she has accused the NCDC of negligence in the son-in-law's death. And this is how the audio goes.
Around 3 a.m., she called me. She said he cannot talk again. No. His breathing is high. I said, I've told you before, maybe this problem he's having is COVID-19. Have you called NCDC? She said, yes, they have been calling since yesterday night. That the people, all the phone lines are not going through. So I decided to call the ones in the NCDC in the ones in Abuja. When I called the ones in Abuja, they said they will get back to him. They will get back to me. That they will call the Kano branch now and tell them what is happening. They asked me where is he now. I said they have taken him to a private hospital named International Hospital in Kano. When they took him to that international hospital in Kano, they admitted him and put oxygen for him. After about 1 hour, another doctor came in and told them to go to Madam Aminu Kano that he's not responding to the oxygen. And I know he's not responding to that oxygen. It's just a way for the doctor to drive them away from that hospital, and I don't blame him. Every 30 minutes, I will be calling the NCDC here in Abuja because the ones in Kano are not responding. He will be telling me that they will soon go there, they will soon go there. When the thing was getting out of hand, I told this man, please tell me the truth. What is happening? Tell me what is happening. Before he now told me that the NCDC in Kano have been shut down. I said, why did you know that they have been shut down and you are just telling me they will soon go there, they will soon go there. My son-in-law died after 2 hours when he was admitted in Aminu Kano. So I'm holding the Kano government and the NCDC of Kano responsible for the death of my son-in-law. And now, what is paining me most now that my heart is broken into pieces is what will happen to my children, my daughter, her children, my grandchildren? What will happen to them? When there is no NCDC in Kano, what will happen to them?
And that is I could go back straight to you in the studio, and you have the woman there. She's in her 70s, asking for help. We can confirm that NCDC have now been able to go to the family home in Kano so that they can take sample from our own daughter and also our grandchildren as well. Also, I can confirm that coming out this morning, the Minister for Health is saying that Kano COVID-19 test center to resume operation today as well. But let's take a look at that audio. They were able to get to the private hospital. That means they have a little bit of fun.
Yeah.
A lot of people will not have that fun.
Yeah.
They will have just die. And she said there that the doctor in that private hospital knew that the son was having a COVID-19. Didn't want to have more problem. Pushed them out. They went now to the general hospital, which they could have gone in the first place, but they have the money to have gone to private hospital. But eventually, he died in that teaching hospital in Kano, Kano University in Kano. So again, it now correlates, and all this happened last week because you can tell that if this was happening as at the time that we were saying 150 people had died, well, we just have to wait and see what will be the next number coming out of Kano now that the test center is going to be operating later on today. Starr Radio UK.
Yeah, actually, you see, we've been talking about this, and this goes to the whole of African countries. When Ghana, Kenya, Nigeria, all the African countries, and it's very, very general. Now, we said from the outset and during some of these discussions that, look, there's a vacuum, a huge vacuum in the fight against, and I recall, and I'll go back to Mr. Bedi's comment that there seems to be a lot of illiteracy going on over there. We're talking about the knowledge gap. We're talking about how even the health workers. So, I mean, we asked to some of these phone calls. We asked several questions. Do we have adequate call centers? When I'm having these symptoms, because if you listen to what the woman is saying, I mean, the symptoms that, I mean, she was talking about seems to be something close to COVID.
Yeah.
Now, and she narrated how on the phone, the son-in-law was well treated, that I've called for 2 days now. No response has come. Yeah. Now, do we put money ahead of this thing? If we have declared national emergencies, then one will stand to reason that when people call in with symptoms having to do COVID, money issues should be set aside.
Yeah.
Besides, if the people had picked up that phone call, send someone over there, basically direct him to the right hospital, not the private hospital.
No.
We know in Kumasi, for instance, like we said, that someone who died and apparently happened to be a COVID patient or was infected with COVID had to go to about 8 hospitals before getting to the main hospital. Now, if they have just picked out a phone and say, okay, with these symptoms, I go to the general hospital. Probably you wouldn't have gone to the private hospital. And
we don't know who it might have infected there, you know.
So we make noise about lockdown. We make noise about giving people a bit of food, but we've not provided adequate, means of dealing with people who call and report that we have this symptom, because that's exactly what killed this person. If the person, we're not saying that if they have gone first, probably would have survived. No, that's not. But we never can tell. We never can tell.
Yeah, I agree with you.
We never can tell. So all these African countries, we've done this, please. The other thing we should, how do we deal with, how can people call when I'm experiencing a bit of, or I have a bit of symptoms? What do I do? We know the advice is not to walk into hospital because the possibility of infecting people on your way to the hospital, and even the hospital when you get there, it's high. So you're supposed to call. Here's a case, someone has called, and there seems to be no response.
Wow.
You know?
Wow. Very interesting. Now, Yomi, let me just out of curiosity, do you know if this person has been buried?
Well, I wouldn't be able to confirm that, but if the person is a Muslim, be rest assured that that person will have gone under the 6 foot, without something being delayed.
But why I ask that question is, now, what processes are we taking in disposing of the bodies as well?
No, if you don't know what
killed the person,
and if you recall to Ebola issue, it was some of the infection resulted from the way the dead were
being disposed.
And again, that is some of these problems. Because if the health authority provide the necessary information, that even if you are not able to come to the hospital, we're not able to get there, someone died and might have displayed some of these symptoms, the likelihood that the person might have suffered from COVID. We saw a video where someone was basically finding it difficult to breathe and virtually put in a car and had to be with someone's labs. You know, the way when someone is
sick, the way they put the people on their laps and then
so basically the person was lying on someone's laps in the car, and the person was not having a mask, which means the person on whose lap the person is automatically going to inhale more, because this is a car. The another person was actually putting their hands on it, trying to resuscitate this person while the car was going. Are you getting me? It means, yes, they're trying to save the person, but what happens after they've taken the person to the hospital? What are the advice for those who were with that person? Would they go and self-isolate? Are we going to be able to, or have we given them enough information to be able to? Yes, we've helped this person trying to save their life, which means potentially
we might have contracted.
You might have contracted. So these are the necessary steps that you have to take. You know, because if you don't do that, person will just move and might be a healthy career for the next 2-3 days. Before, or even 7 days, up to 14 days before symptoms will be able to manifest. That is if they will develop symptoms at all. Because we know there are people who might have had the virus, they don't display any symptoms, like we saw in the case of Idris Abba. No symptoms, but he tested positive.
Oh my goodness. Listeners, it's Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. We're going to be running up our conversation with Mr. Olayomi with the updates from Nigeria. Let me go back to him. Yomi, what else?
Well, this has just come to me by wire now, and this will be the last one we'll be giving for today, and we'll come back again tomorrow. Virtual town hall meeting, interaction with Nigerians in diaspora to discuss crucial matters. Honorable Mrs. Abike Dabiri Erewa, that is the chairman, Nigerians in Diaspora Commission. Also, that will be the host of that is going to be Prince Adeomoli. Like I said, this have just literally come to me. This is happening Wednesday, the 29th of April, from 4 p.m. to 4:45. All Nigerians in the diaspora, please join us online, www.zoom.com, and click on the join meeting with the meeting ID, and I'll be putting this out. Like I said, Honorable Abike Dabiri is in charge of the Nigerians, according to what the presidency appointment role she had, and she's been doing that for some time now. Having this virtual town hall meeting, everything is going virtual. Like I said, we also had that virtual protest on Friday, and there might be another one coming soon again. And on that note, I'll go back to you in the studio before we say good morning to you in the studio, and also good morning or good afternoon to those of us that are watching us around the globe.
Yes, listeners, Starr Radio UK, update from Nigeria with Mr. Olayomi Koiki all the way in Edmonton. The virtual report. we are doing everything virtual. Let's say thank you very much for that update, and then we'll catch up with you tomorrow. Bye-bye for now. Well, listeners, it is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. It's 5 minutes to the top of the hour. Let's take a commercial break. I'll bring you some music, and then we'll open the lines for you to add your voice to the discussions wherever you are. There are issues, questions that is being asked. Mr. Bossman says that, well, he thinks that the panacea to all our problems is the African unity. So if we come together, then there will be no need for us to go borrowing from outside. Now, maybe you think that, well, where we've gotten to, we don't have anything in the kitty. So whether we come together or not,
it's a problem. Actually, let me ask a question.
Yes.
I've complained of hunger. I have 3 children. They are complaining that the food daddy has given us is not enough. They are struggling to have even a meal to eat in the afternoon. In fact, instead of 3 meals, one person eats, another person render themselves vulnerable.
Wow.
And then without you complaining that much, I come with a basket full of food. How will you consider the present?
Hey, Christmas don't come early. You just take it with both hands.
Because I'm asking this question because before we go on a break, and people should start thinking about it. When we come back, probably they might have a bit of advice. We have reports of America donating a lot of medical equipment to Nigeria, to Ghana, and some other African countries. You and I know that America is struggling to get its own medical equipment to get to hospitals. There are reports of even hospitals in New York using polythene bags. So, and here's the case: we have a president who is nationalistic and who has said that exporting of what do you call it?
Medical
equipment is all banned. So, how can America
still
is giving us tons of medical equipment when they still have a need?
Well,
are we going to test those equipment?
Wow, that's a question that you've asked, you know.
Are we?
No, it came from the US. It came from abroad. That's what we say.
Again, a Chinese maltreat you in their country, then they send a delegation to come and help you solve your problem.
Oh, they came from heaven. They didn't hear some people say.
Anyway, we'll be back.
Yes, we'll be back. Stay tuned. Don't touch the
time for coffee.
Hi everyone, I'm Didi Clement, the author of How to Go from Employee to Entrepreneur. Just want to quickly tell you about a new and exciting radio show that I'm going to be hosting called BB Means Business. And I'll be discussing the importance of developing different income streams in today's climate and focusing on the small business as one such viable income stream. I'll be sharing valuable tips on how to set up a small business successfully and diversify into other areas. I'll also show you how to discover your gifts and your talents and how you can monetize them, all with the aim of helping your dream of becoming financially free become a reality. So join me, BB Clement, every Tuesday on Starr Radio at 1:30 p.m. Remember, don't let life dictate to you, rather put your signature on life.
Hello, good people. I'm back again, and this time it's about Mama's Choice Fufu Mix. It comes in 2 flavors, and it contains essential minerals and vitamins. It's gluten-free. You can grab one from the nearest Afro-Caribbean shop or the corner shop next to you. Insist it's Mama's Choice. It's certified by both the US and the UK Food Standard Boards. Grab one for yourself today. Mama's Choice. Ubedisa Charlie.
Hi guys, this is your friend from SendWave. SendWave is a money transfer app that you can download onto your smartphone and send money to Ghana and Nigeria. SendWave is absolutely commission free. No matter how many times you send money or whatever the amount may be, you will never have to pay any commission ever. Your money is transferred in 30 seconds, and right now SendWave is offering the best exchange rates in the market. Don't believe me? Look for yourself. Join me on the morning show on Starr Radio every Tuesday at 12:45 p.m. In the meantime, download the SendWave app from the App Store or Google Play Store. Remember to use the promo code STARR to get £5 free credit. That's STARR. Bye for now.
Listen to Regina Abban and Lady Caroline every Monday from 5 to 6:30 p.m. on Point at Starr Radio UK, where we educate the youth and young adults on life issues.
Check me out. He tells me my energy is making him tired.
Yes!
How do you get the energy to do
I've been told that I have a lot of energy, but my goodness, I think today I have met my match, people. I have met my match, Miss Suzanne. Wow, amazing.
One of the things that's the start of the darkness. The whole of darkness.
So what did that
Myself and the world in a just. And 2019.
Forget the proverbial boardroom. Join me, Simone Frazier, on the CEO, the program that gives you the driving seat over your life. Every Tuesday, 8 p.m. only on Starr Radio.
Welcome back to the program. It is Starr Radio UK. 2 minutes past 12 the time. The morning show, the program. I'm Archie. I'm here with Frank Davids. Now, exactly at 12:45, we'll be having HRH Linda Pallien joining us all the way from Cyprus to bring you Career 101. This is the time that you have to listen to all these programs. So by the time the lockdown is lifted or eased down, you come in and you know you are all loaded, polished to get into the next level. Okay, yes. Now, Frank was asking the question. I'll go back to him for him to reiterate, and then I want the listeners to react to it, and I'll put the numbers across.
Yeah, the question, and I think this also, a newspaper in Ghana has also picked up this story, and it's something that a lot of Africans, again from other countries, are asking, and Nigerians included. Now, we know the U.S. has donated medical items to a lot of countries, including Ghana and Nigeria. Now, the question we're asking is, here we understand that, and from evidence that is coming, US itself is struggling to be able to meet its own demand for some of these medical equipments. We know the president in charge of the US today is more of a nationalistic oriented, someone who thinks that American first before. Yeah. And we know of comments which seems to suggest that exportation of some of these medical equipment to other countries for now are temporarily halted. And I'm asking the question, like many others, why we push the US? Yes, we do have cases reported in Ghana. We do have cases reported in Nigeria. But we do not have that devastating effect on the continent of Africa like we see in the US, which have recorded over 50,000 deaths. In fact, the largest in the world. Why would the US be donating medical equipment to African countries? Will those medical equipments be tested? Again, go to China. China also donated some medical equipment. Someone said, well, they have finished fighting COVID to a large extent, and therefore they might have surplus. But if you look at the treatment, they are admitting to Africans in their country with the COVID support by their government. what will push a Chinese government to want to send its delegation, medical experts, to an African country to help them fight COVID? Is COVID being used as another platform for control of our systems?
Well, we want to hear from you. 0208-133-2257. 0208-133-2257 or 58. If you are US or Canada, it is 001-718-303-2737. 001-718-303-2737. You can text or WhatsApp us. It's 0753-966-1744. 0753-966-1744. Our Twitter handle is @Starr Radio UK, and our email address is info@starradiouk.com. If you are in the US, Canada, or the Caribbean area, now we have a dial to listen number. So during this lockdown, maybe you've run out of data, you still want to listen to us for free. All you have to do is just dial us. If you dial in from home, it's +1-518-400-6069. That is 001-518-400-6069, and you can listen to us for free from there. It is Starr Radio UK, your favorite African and Caribbean radio station in London. Your comments are very, very important to us, so make sure you share or call in and let us hear from you on all the issues that we put across. Should African countries still go calabash in hand saying, "Lala Sumila, please, 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 we still need help"? Now, Frank is also saying that, look, we have the West, we have the Chinese who have also, or let me put it this way, we have America who is saying that we are struggling, virtually pulling their hairs out, and they're saying that, oh, now we need to, we still want to be lovely. We come to give you some medical gifts. Now you use it. You were the president that said that he wasn't going. He's banned the exportation of any medical equipment or stuff like that to any country. So what are they actually giving us? Is it fake? Is it something that is virtually holding the COVID in there, and therefore the moment you use it, I'm not saying that is what it is though, but we're just thinking aloud. Is that what is going on? And the Chinese, the way they are ill-treating Africans there, and then the next moment they say, oh, well, we love you to bits, get this. And the kind of people that we are, we're also collecting it with our legs, heads, and our feet, well, and our hands as well. Well, we want to hear from you. Maybe they are doing the right thing. Necessity puts people in the point that, well, anything that is given to them looks like gold to them. Maybe when they are satisfied before they find out that, well, something bad had been given to them. But whatever it is, we want to hear from you. 7 minutes past 12 the time, Starr Radio UK, the station. Now, interestingly, our simpleton man, okay, I've got Kwame. Let me pick Kwame's call, but let me read our simpleton man's comment that is made about the treatment of Africans. Now, Uganda musician turned politician Robert Kyagulanyi, popularly known as Bobby Wine, has offered to help airlift Africans allegedly being mistreated in China after reports that hundreds of Africans are being evicted from their homes and hotels in the Chinese city of Guangzhou over fears the coronavirus was spreading in African communities. One individual, and we say a whole country, they're saying that they cannot go and do that. It's a disgrace. But let me go to Kwame. Hello, Kwame. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon.
How are you doing, sir?
Yeah, I'm doing great.
Thank God for that. Thank God. How was your weekend?
Yeah, quite
good. Yeah. So what do you have for us today, sir?
Yeah. First, I was dying to enter because when I was listening to Olayomi, your news reporter.
Yes.
From Nigeria. Yeah, he was talking about somebody dying because Frank was saying because they didn't take the person to the hospital quick, if I'm right.
Yeah, okay.
It was the case of access to information, and now they don't know whether it's COVID or no COVID. They are not certain what might have killed the person. So the person complained of what do you call it? Assistance not being given or not forthcoming as it should online. Yeah.
Frank, I was here yesterday, and a friend used Facebook to send me a message.
Yeah.
And he was telling me one of our friends, who I'm a bit distant from, but we all meet and chat. He told me we've lost him.
Wow.
What happened? Just 3 days ago. What happened was he went to a friend's house and he fell sick. And they were calling. This no Adiekuta or.
This is in the UK here. Yeah.
Here. They called the ambulance. The ambulance delayed.
Yeah.
So they were there waiting. The ambulance didn't come. So I think they went out to go and look for a cab. Then they saw an ambulance passing. So they flagged the ambulance down and they spoke to the person and they picked him. Before they reached the hospital, they lost the guy.
Okay.
This is a system where they have everything.
Okay.
And I said to myself, do you see why sometimes they say certain people are dying more? Because even if you call knowing your absence and stuff like that, they don't bother.
Interesting.
It's not about where you are. Be serious. You see, because when you live in this kind of environment and this kind of situation is going on, and somebody calls for ambulance, why would there be a delay? Whilst there's another ambulance passing the vicinity.
Interesting.
It's an issue. Go on, Kofi. Go on, Kwame.
Sometimes it's not about our place. This human failure is all around us.
But interestingly, what you said pertaining to the accent that we use when we make the call.
Maybe you haven't have this experience of somebody breaking into your house before, and you call the police or something.
Wow, I see. That's a proper discrimination.
I've had personal experience that I wouldn't want to recount over here. Yeah.
Proper discrimination, you are saying. This place is there is institutional racism.
That's what I would know.
It happens in everything. They know it. They've been told by McPherson. It happens every day.
So, Kwame, are you suggesting, therefore, that, if I'm getting you right, that had a person been of a different color, probably an ambulance would have responded more quicker?
That's why they are telling us that more Asian and black people are dying.
Wow.
That because we also have evidence. We know also that Caucasians have also had similar situations where they've called ambulance and ambulance have delayed. That's because the sheer number of pressure on the system. So a bit difficult to conclusively admit that that could be. Yes, we know the institutional racism. It's just a matter of the person on the line who might happen to know that if I hear a Nigerian accent, God forbid, I'm not logging it in as quickly as you can. I'm not prioritizing it. So we know. But it's very, very difficult to categorically, zero it on that.
Even boss, even if you're looking for work, we've been told several times, and you write your surname, and it's no Matthew, it's no Joper, and it's connotation of some far place. They'll throw your application in the bin.
Literally.
That we know that we admit it happens because again, we have evidence where people have submitted job applications, the same CVs, they try, they couldn't get job, they tweak the same CV, put a different name on the CV, and they put one the name that they've used before, send it to the same company, the same CV, the same address, nothing changed. Stupidly enough, they didn't spot that was the same person.
Why do you think this will happen in the health system?
We're not saying it will not happen.
Yeah.
We're not saying it will not happen, but to categorically, without further evidence, say that could have that killed this person, it will be very, very, very difficult.
You see, that's the thing. That's why I always say to people, especially the young ones, that look, despite the hurdles they might put in front of you, we want you to get into the system, because getting into the system will do us a better good later on in the year.
100% agree.
Yes, so this is what we have to target. But to me, sometimes when we are beating ourselves, we should take it lightly, because the way the system is structured, it doesn't favor certain people.
It's true. But just supposing that to what Olayomi was talking about, the audio that he played pertaining to that man who had called and then they were not attending to him. I mean, with that, even let's say if the person was here and had done that, they will not just take the person and go and maybe bury the person, or they would have at least after that do an autopsy to find out.
And actually, the critical issue again over there is that here you have hope. That even if it delays, an ambulance will be on their way. You have hope that you call someone was the other end to receive the call.
Someone is coming.
The situation we're looking at again is that the phone calls you dialing, no one is over there picking it. We do know that ever here sometimes you call institutions and they don't pick up the phone. Yes, but it is not the general. If 20 people call, at least 11 will get through. But when you have a situation where 20 people call, it's only one person that goes through. It's like a tunnel line that we are trying to. It's difficult, and that's where we need to put things in place to be able to expand, and probably where they are not, put in place structures that will aid some of the fight against some of the ailments.
Kwame, I'm coming back to you to ask the question about what Frank put across and the one I put across as well. But let me say good afternoon to Abiola Olayinka Olaniyan. I hope you are doing very, very well, lady. Yes, and keeping safe, right? Good. Now, so Kwame, we have the U.S. We know Trump nationalists say, hey. With what is going on, and we know we all see the evidence, we see the pictorial evidence of what is happening, and therefore for the US still to now donate medical equipment in these times where things are virtually bad for them to Africans, and we also receiving it with both hands, heads, legs, and whatever. Do you think, Frank is asking, do you think that it's good that we did that? And are we going to even conduct any investigation on it as to whether it is wholesome for us to use? And then the other question is, now we have the Chinese also doing the same. They are maltreating our people, yet they said they've donated
they sent people to come.
They sent medical experts to come and help us. Are they coming to rather infect us the more to make sure that they finish us this time round,
or to look at our resistance, what is making us more resilient? You know.
What do you think, Kwame?
Yeah, in the first place, I saw that news item as well. When I saw it the first time, I asked myself, but this, I said to myself, sitting quietly, I said, but I thought these are the people we are seeing on the news that they also lacking equipment and people are complaining here and there. How come they donating? Then I answered myself and said, I have to know what kind of equipment they've donated.
Okay.
You see, because sometimes what people do, or what, like if I'm in the house and I have 6 clothes and I feel, oh, this my jeans is too old, I can dash it out. Or this my jeans, I don't need it, I have another one, I can dash it out. So maybe they have
some old beds.
Yeah, so they say, oh, in this time of crisis, maybe this woman use it, so let's take it to them. It's medical equipment, but it doesn't concern anything. But they are asking you that, oh, since maybe a lot of people will go to the hospital, we have a company that manufacture beds, they are not selling, so you can have it. Orthopedic beds, you can have it, or something else, you can have it. They'll still classify them as medical equipment unless you know that they are PPEs. that they needed and they are sending it.
Okay, that's a good. That's
and
a good.
I'm not sure that would be it. It will be some other medical equipment that they have. Maybe they've stored and they are not using.
Yeah, but Kwame, they've said that the equipment donated is to help fight against COVID. What are they? Bed, ventilators.
A bed too can help fight against COVID.
Yeah, but they also need beds. We've seen pictures of some of them lying in corridors.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So the thing is, if they have it, those things, at the moment, they feel that the immediate thing they need is PPEs. So if they have the PPEs, because let's say, for instance, an hospital, there's so much beds you can put in one hospital. You see? And you don't need to put any more because you can't put the beds on the corridor. People can lie in the corridor, but you can't put beds there. You see? So those things, so it could be anything until we know what because to me, if it's drugs and certain things concerning the COVID, I'll ask myself questions. Even I'll ask whether the government itself is not scared for the people is ruling. You see? But then again, it could be anything. It could be oxygen tank. It could be gas cylinders. It could be anything.
But Kwame, just a minute. Let me ask a question. Do you think that they just want, at times they want to dispose of equipment and stuff like that, and we've had cases where old computers have been dumped, and you go to Accra, some of the places, and you look at the beaches or some of the sites, and it's so disgusting. Some clothes that virtually they are spoiled. You can't wear them, and they just go and dump it there. They said they sent out some stuff, a few in there which are good, and the rest are all absolute rubbish. Now, do you think that maybe let's trying to find some dumping site and they say, it's an opportunity. Let's come on. Let's say there's something. Maybe a couple of them will work. The rest, let them just. They would have kept it and then maybe dump it there.
Yeah, but we all know like we've been told several times by African nationalists and all these people that these people they don't have friends. They have interest.
Of course.
You see. So maybe all these things they are doing is for certain interest. You see? And we're talking the same thing about China. You see? Look, what is happening in China is unfortunate. You see? But the thing is, what is happening in China, is it being orchestrated by the government or by individuals? You see? Because the government can say, look, these are rogue people doing these things.
Okay.
It's not something that is sanctioned by the government. You see? But then again, those people who have been doing it, are they bringing them to book?
That is the question.
Or they let them go, you see, and come back and say, you see, like we say here, sometimes our government don't stand up enough for the country. You see? Because like Frank alluded to some time ago when I was listening that, look, if your mouth is in somebody's kitchen, if there's not much you can do. And these are the situations that we have. You see? And also, I hear we're talking about something, and you said Africa don't have money, so they can do this. Look, that is, to me, those things are unfortunately a misconception. You see, it's African people that are poor, but not the continent that is poor. Nobody should deceive anybody that Africa is poor.
So do you think that, let me ask you a question there, Kwame. Do you think that with what is going on, now we're looking at whether Africans should go to China, or which we know at the moment China has, virtually invested lots of monies in Africa, okay, billions. Now, should we now say with what is going on, we don't want your money any longer, okay? We're not going to go to the West as well to go get any loans from them. We are going to raise funds, what? Internally. And internally, we know that we don't have it.
Oh, why do you keep saying we don't have it? Well, that's where I don't understand why you keep saying we don't have it. You see, look, we've not created the environment for people in the country to loan money. People are prepared to go and hide their money elsewhere than to loan it to their own government. Because the environment that is not conducive for that. And we continue to say those are the things we have to work on. You see, those are the things we need to work on so that it becomes conducive for people to loan the continent money, their country's money. So when we start to do that, it will have effect on the type of contracts we sign with foreigners.
Of course.
And because of our lacking in those things, look, the OAU in the first place is rubbish. We should stop talking about it. Let's form another group purely for economy.
And what would that group be?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. African countries come together. You see, you have to have a convergent position before you join. You agree on certain terms because it's pure about the economy. So the thing is, your economy and this country has to have some tally, has to have some meaning for you to join. Individually, they always come with this. And the people borrowing the country money, they are not borrowing it because we are poor. They are borrowing it because they will make money.
Of course.
So why do you classify ourselves as poor then? If the people are coming because they will make money from us, why are we poor? That's why I continue to say we are not poor, but individuals are poor.
I'll give a scenario that has persisted over the years. And then that happens with French countries, especially the Francophone countries in Africa. Post-independence, this might sound stupid, and people might say, oh, this is unbelievable, this cannot be, this cannot happen, but it's happening under our nose. Again, which goes to the way we've not questioned our government to look at, okay, who have, Archie, how many times have we questioned ourselves? Can we look at the document that our forefathers, Nkrumah and others, signed when independence was being granted? Can we have a look at that document? We've not.
Nope.
During the time of independence, the French country signed a document which actually mandate, listen to this, mandate the countries in the Francophone zone, Togo, Ivory Coast, Burkina Faso, to deposit 85% of their money, 85% of their reserve currency in France. Now, so we make money £100 as our reserve. 85% of that money will have to
85 pounds. We take it. We go and give it to them.
To France. Now listen to this. We only have 15%. We only have 15 pounds to spend. Now, if our budgetary requirement demands that we need more than 15 pounds, let's assume we need 70 pounds in total. It means we need 55 more. That 55 pounds more now have to be given to us with the approval of the French government at a commercial interest rate. Now, actually, this is what is happening.
Really?
No, actually, it's not. It is real. Togo's, okay, 85% of Togo's foreign reserve is with the French government. All right?
Yeah.
Should Togo needs money from to do any infrastructure?
Yeah.
Togo have to borrow that money from French government at a commercial rate of interest. Meanwhile, 85% of its money is with the same government.
Wow.
And again, you cannot give a contract to anyone without approval, commercial contract to anyone without approval from France. And therefore, the commercial loan that you are borrowing, which is your own money, the executors of that project, priority you have to be
given to France as well.
And this is the system we've operated post-independence. Up to date, it's still working.
Wonderful.
And that is why recently, from last year, when the French colonies, the ex-colonies, they were going to go with this ECO, and they say one move that they made, which actually affected the French, and they said, although they've not actually started implementing it, they have to stop using the French embassy, what do you call it, governments as a depository for their leasing. And actually, these are all part of the reason, and I can say it here without missing my word, that
Gaddafi was killed, because at the end of the day, the African Central Bank that was supposed to hold all those money to be the French economy. And Archie, if you give, let's say, 10 million to the French, 10 billion to the French government, they invest in stock.
Yes, and they make money.
Within 6 month period, they are making over 200 billion.
Yeah.
Are you getting me? And again, they loan you your own money and charge
you interest on your own money.
Can you just picture it? I have my money. I give you, hold it for me. Now I'm coming, I need money to do my project. You're telling me I'll loan you your money at a rate of, let's say, 10%, 6%. At the end of the day, I'm paying interest on my
own money.
And this is how African countries have operated.
That's why the question that you asked, whether what deals or what agreement that they signed with the colonial master had to be relooked
into. This is not they say. No, this is exactly what persists.
Oh my word.
This is exactly what persists. So yes, we might talk of independence as a political entity, but when it comes to economy, we are still slaves. We are still slaves. How many French nationals have stood up to fight against it? We don't know if you know.
We don't.
We've
never heard. I've never heard any of them doing that.
That's what persists.
Wow. 12:30 the time. We still have Kwame there. Let's see his reaction to what maybe Frank has said.
Yeah, Frank, that's what the French colonies, they call the solidarité. The paper they signed. That's the solidarité. You have to always keep solidarity with France. So that's what it is. It's been there. You see? And you think, what is the reason why they kill people like Patrice Lumumba?
Yeah.
What is the reason why they kill Sankara? What is the reason why they kill a lot of them? Because anybody who comes and tries to profess nationalism, you have to go. Because you want to break that solidarity. So that's the thing. It's there. We all know. You see?
Wow.
Look, the thing is not about we being poor. It's about they're coming to make money out of us. You see? But the thing is, it won't go on forever. Because of the kind of people we have leading us, who are just the compradors for those situations, who are just the neo-colonialists who pretend to be Africans, ruling us. That's why they get away with it. In this modern day Ghana, why aren't we prepared to die than to be a slave in our own country? It's because of the people who rule us. Anyway. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Kwame. Thank you.
Kwame, before you go, have you posted the phone?
Kwame,
thank you very much.
Okay, have a lovely day. Well, listeners, Starr Radio UK. Let me say good afternoon to Apostle Owusu Banahene and all members of Grace Palace Church Chapel. Okay, Grace Palace Chapel. To the family. So we salute you all. We hope you're all doing well and keeping safe. And thanks for joining us as well. Okay, now we will go to some of the news that is making the rounds in the world, because we've not captured them, or we'll do our best to see which ones we can capture before we join HRH Linda Pallien in Career 101. Now, interestingly, New Zealand virtually has stopped virus transmission. So they had 0 infection rate. That is our information coming from there. And then Israeli government, Israeli court has banned lawless contact tracing. You know this contact tracing thing that I've talked about. I've been saying that, look, if you want to actually go to somebody's bedroom, so we are doing contact tracing. So you use that opportunity, you get to the person's bedroom. I didn't come there myself, it's contact tracing. So an Israeli Supreme Court has banned its intelligence agency from tracing the phone location of those infected with COVID-19 until new laws are passed. The Shin Bet Internal Security Service had been given emergency powers in March to use the technology. Now the court says legislation must be brought in for it to continue past 30th of April. It warned of a slippery slope of using the extraordinary and harmful tools against innocent citizens. Now, the state's choice to use its preventative security service for monitoring those who wish it no harm without their consent raises great difficulties and suitable alternative, but must be found, the court said. You know what they do that, and then when it comes to the Arabs, the Palestinians, It's COVID. We are tracing the COVID, and but then you say, Jack, they are in your bedroom, not physically, but virtually they are in your bedroom. So that's what they are speaking against. And we've talked about that it's something that care has to be taken. That after this COVID, after everything has been said and done, they will not, our internal security agencies will not use this to be trying to infiltrate people's private
even
life.
now, even at this very hour that they are using it, what information are they allowed to have access to, and to what use are they allowed to put certain information? So if, for instance, I'm cheating on my wife, and you're able to get my information that I tell you I'm coming to work and I'm
located somewhere else,
and you gather that information, to what use are you going to are you going to put that information? Are you going to be able to publish that information, or what? How does the law work to ensure that yes, you know my location, but you are only using it for the purpose for which it has been intended? Which is to know whether I've been in contact with anybody. So whether I go to my girlfriend, I go to my wife, I go to whoever it is,
irrelevant.
Irrelevant. You are looking at where I have been. Has there been a reported case of COVID? And if there has been a reported case of COVID, am I likely to have been exposed? Now, if I'm likely to have exposed, I come back home and I've been in contact. Are you coming to tell the people in my house that I was at Kaswa? And
when I said I was going to
I was at Kaswa when I said I was going to that, and at Kaswa I was actually with Akosua, and Akosua had COVID. And then the household then said, "Oh, but Patrick, you thought you were going to Newtown. Who is Akosua now?" He said, "Akosua is a friend of which friend of mine? Is it the same Akosua who called the other time? They had to tell her to stop calling you." He said, are you getting me? So that has to be regulated. That has to be regulated. I totally agree with it. So that we know how the information and data is very important in fighting some of these diseases and other things, even crime. But we need to be measured how those information is used. Yes, I do not have a problem when people intrude into people's privacy as a direct result of the public interest. I have no problem about it at all. But I will have any problem. I'll have a lot of problem if such information is not actually controlled, and we have to get to a point where we now have to start basically putting people at risk just because in the name of COVID.
Well, listen, it's Starr Radio UK. Now, Chile's government has said it will go ahead with a controversial plan to issue certificates to people who have recovered from COVID-19. So if you are in Chile, you've recovered from COVID-19, they give a certificate so you can be walking around with that certificate. And the documents will be given to people to allow them to return to work. Now, Deputy Health Minister Paula Daza has said, the World Organization has said there is no evidence that people who contract coronavirus are immune from being infected again. So that is why. So I don't know why. Is it for political expediency or we are doing something? But you've not got the health expert. Concrete. Evidence that look, somebody has COVID and therefore will never have COVID again.
Actually, the science that they're trying to use makes a bit of sense. But again, we need to find out, like you're saying, whether being infected once gives you that immunity, the anger of the herd immunity that if a country like Ghana seems to be working, the strategy Ghana is now adopting is the herd immunity strategy that we know when we get it, a lot of people get it. So let a lot of people get infected in any way, and they will get immune. They might not say it publicly. UK did the same thing. They said it publicly, but it backfired on them. And you look at the rate of death. If you compare to the number of people who have been infected, you're going to kill about 500,000 people. That's what that strategy was going. Should we even infect about 80% of the UK population? 60 million people, infect about 80% or even 60%. You end up killing almost 500,000 people. That's why they backed off from that. In our part of the world, Ghana, for instance, seems to have taken that path. That's what they want to do now. The issue about Chile government, if they can back or they can produce evidence to back it, I'm not saying the evidence must come from WHO. I'm not saying the evidence must come from what they call US, China, or wherever. No, we must be able to see evidence that, look, being infected once, at least gives you that immunity.
Yeah.
Just like the way the flu works, that if you're infected this season, you go at least and you come over it, you got 12 months.
Yeah.
Chicken pox, once you're infected once,
that's it.
That's it. So for COVID, we do not know how long that immunity, or even if there's immunity at all, because there's a bit of conflicting messages. We've heard the situation where Japan, for instance, we've heard of repeated infections.
Yeah.
You get me?
Yeah.
We're not quite sure.
Singapore is also reporting of that.
We're not quite sure that. So if that is what is happening, then they must be a bit of cautious in going that way, because no one is sure. For me, if we know about the risks, there's full extent of the risks, and we're going for it, yet we understand. But if we are still studying to look at the whole spectrum of the risks that a particular situation presents, it means that we do not have the full set of facts and information that we need to make informed decisions. And in this case, as far as COVID is concerned, my position has always and remains and will be, until further evidence, that COVID is an authority on itself. The coronavirus is teaching us a lot that we do not know, because over the weekend there was even a news that is coming, which again made that COVID argument very, very, very dangerous. The herd immunity argument very, very dangerous. They said it leads to blood clots.
I didn't hear that one.
Yeah, it can lead to blood clot. It has led to even some people who have recovered strokes.
Yeah, you have deep vein thrombosis straight, and you could die.
That it has led to stroke in other patients who have even recovered, because it blocks your arteries. The breathing doesn't allow oxygen, and that results in clotting of blood within that period. So your blood is not able, your body system don't function the way it should function. People have been reported having blue toes, which again, lack of circulation of blood in their feet. So this is still an authority and still unveiling itself gradually. So for me, until we know the full extent, the full spectrum of what this COVID is able to do, maximum precaution is what I will urge.
Well, maximum precautions. We just got 3 minutes to go to HRH Linda Pallien, all the way from Cyprus on Career 101. But before we run up, now remember last week we were talking about our uncle Trump statement. Was it last Thursday that he made that statement? Friday we were talking about it, where we were thinking that disinfectant and UV lights to actually try to. But it's kind to say that it was just a joke. It was just being sarcastic and stuff like that.
You don't play joke. He's not a comedian. I mean, he's a leader of a state, and newsmen did not come there. It wasn't Apollo that they didn't go to watch a musical. They didn't go to gather there to report of a new what they call theater series that was being done.
So if he's calling when our prime minister recovered and what plays a call to him, he did talk about the fact that they were going to come together to to find a solution to this COVID. Do you think that we have to take him serious, or maybe it is team that we're going to be working with, not him as an individual?
Archie, if you ask me today, let me answer this way. If I'm traveling from here to Luton and you want Trump to be my driver, I will say no.
You might not know, he might be a good driver.
No, he might be on the steering wheel. Something might come to his mind. He will take his both hands, want to tweet. Without looking at the risks that he poses to me, the occupant of that car, once he tried tweeting. Because, Archie, if you look at the way Trump has been behaving, some of his comments, I don't know, but I wouldn't take what he says serious. Yes, he might not have the power, authority of the state, but we must understand that institutions function over there.
Yeah.
And that must be what is holding him afloat. But for the institutions that are functioning, so if those institutions are not there and you ask me to put my life even 1 minute in the hands of Trump, I'll flee.
Well, this man doesn't trust Trump.
No, I don't. Actually, I don't. I don't. I'm not going to hide from it. I do not trust him a second. No, I do not. I've come to a point where I see it as he sees everything in a narrow tunnel, and that narrow tunnel is from the beginning to the end. Throughout the tunnel, it's all about self-actualization, money making, and kind of bullish. I don't know, insensitive to the plight of others. That is what I mean. He's, apart from his business risk and other things, his scope of risk is a bit limited, in my view. And if you listen to the comments that he makes, I mean, your White House health advisor seated there, and Trump saying, in what do you call it? We can inject. Look, the implication over there, not even on Trump. It seems like the lady that's the advice he gave you. She gave you. You speaking to damage her reputation. Because if I am a White House health advisor on health policies and seated there and the president talking that way, straight away,
did you see her posture? And
look, those are some of the consideration or some of the advices I've given you behind the scene. Are you getting me? Such a person, Linda, I know you agree with me that we can't trust him.
well, listeners, that is where we bring the first segment of the program to a close. But now we join in HRH, Linda Pallien, all the way in Cyprus, who's joined us. That is HRH, Linda Pallien from Cyprus, looking beautiful as usual. Yes, Linda, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. How are you?
Yeah, we're doing very, very well. And you?
Yeah, good. Busy, but good.
Great. We love to hear that. How is Mr. Pallien?
Yes, he's good. Been busy as well.
How was your weekend?
Nowadays the days are all the same, right? It was a normal work, enjoy, but it was lovely. It's nice. It's been nice and sunny here, so we've enjoyed that as always.
Any chance of the lockdown being eased in Cyprus at the moment?
We had an announcement sometime last week saying that it'll be reviewed at the beginning of May, but we know that the airports won't open now provisionally until the 17th of May. The travel planned.
Okay, interesting. But
hopefully,
go on.
We can. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Okay. Listeners, we apologize for that. She's broadcasting all the way from Cyprus, so at times there are a bit of interruptions here and there, but bear with us. Okay. Yes. So, what are we looking at today?
Well, today we're looking at how to use your creativity. How to use your creativity now that we've got time to be creative. Well, now we're running out of time, actually. But how to use your creativity.
Okay. How to use your creativity. Was it the other time? My younger brother, he's in South Africa, and then he sent me some paintings that he's done, and I was like, wow. I said, when did you? He said, I was doing that when I was in secondary school. I started doing that, but after that I left it, and but the painting that he's done was very, very beautiful. So I was like, it's good that you had a lockdown. It's brought that creativity back there. So is that what you're talking about?
Definitely. And I'm glad you used that example, because I put out a post yesterday on my page about you can be anything. And I had a lot of, and this is my post that's mainly dedicated to Afro-Caribbean targets. And I had quite a few comments on there going, I don't know what my skills are, etc. But then there was one of the people who showed me a painting. They posted a picture of their drawing, and I thought that was super incredible. And they said, "Oh, well, but I'm not a professional yet," and that's actually inspired today's topic.
Okay.
You know, the divide between talent and skill and how to apply that.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, now let's leave the ball to your court and then let's see what you have for us then. Go on.
Definitely. So first we'll talk about the people that have identified some other talents that they can do, like a younger brother with the drawing or the painting. I've seen, and in this time, I've seen a lot of people start different initiatives. People are doing a lot more TikTok videos, so you're seeing their funny side and their creative side. You're seeing people start businesses or speak up, you know, because they're bored at home and they want to share, or they've got enough time to share some of their talents. So how can you leverage that? Well, if you're like your younger brother, for example, who has a raw talent there, I think we know that it's not enough just to have the talent, but you need to develop it. So if you know that you've got a seedling of a talent there, now's the time to improve that talent and take some professional courses that are going to help you improve that, as well as showcasing the journey. Now that in itself is a business idea.
Okay.
Of getting people on board with the process. This is how I started, and actually to improve this, maybe I need to learn a bit more shading. So I'm taking this course that's going to help me shade better, and this is the work. And I've seen a lot of artists, funny enough, come up with very creative portraits. I just did a portrait of Princess Catherine, which is, and tagged her in it. And it's not a commission painted artwork, but it could be if it comes to attention because it's beautiful. You know, so you have to start showcasing your talents, dancing, singing, painting, music, art, whatever it is that you're doing. But for the people that haven't yet seemed to identify a talent, it might be because you haven't tried too many new things. You know, a lot of us, when I was writing this today, a lot of us seem to specialize too early. We sort of pick a path and we're like, okay, well, this is what I'm gonna do, and then you carry on that path and you don't explore anything else. There's a difference between the jacks of all trades, which we're going to talk about, and the people that need to peel back the layers, you know, trying different things. It's like this onion, right? And you want to peel and see what else is there, and you're uncovering your new gift and your talents as you're going. But if you're not trying anything, you don't know that you can do it or how well you can do it. And especially if you're going to think the thing that you're shy to do but you really admire when other people do. It's usually a good start where to go for and looking for what else or what other talents you've got. I always say it's like a diamond, you know. We're faceted human beings and we've got different aspects to us. But if you're just doing one side of it. Sorry, I'm frozen on the screen. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear.
Okay. If you're doing one side of it, it's like holding this diamond up to the light, but forcing yourself to look through only one cut. When you can turn it around and see the brilliance and the shine and look at the light going through the different aspects of it. So I really encourage people now that you have time, if you do have time, because I know not everyone is at home and has time. But if you have time, then do explore. And if you don't have time, make the time to explore different aspects, even if it's just watching it to begin with before you start doing.
Okay. Listeners, Starr Radio UK, Career 101 with HRH Linda Pallien all the way from Cyprus. And today we are looking at how to use your creativity. So wherever you are, have you unearthed something within you from this lockdown time. Do you think that you are doing better, or maybe you still got a long way to go? We want to know. You should feel free during this time to also share with us. Maybe you want to place a call in to maybe share what you have discovered about yourself. One thing that I cannot do, I feel shy of doing, is to dance. That one, Frank is trying to take me on the dancing training, but that one, lie, it can't happen. So you will see me dancing.
I think you need to start taking some Adowa classes.
Oh, okay. Okay. Now, someone's question is that they've painted, they've managed to do some sketches and stuff like that, but they think that they have the talent to go on to go to the highest level on that, but they don't know where or how to channel or how to bring it to the limelight for people to know that, hey, this person is talented this way. What do they do?
Okay, so how do you bring your business idea or your craft to market?
Mm-hmm.
Find out, put it everywhere. Find out one who's looking for that, but also put it everywhere, and especially in the context that you enjoy. That's usually a good starting point. Yesterday, I sat on an international webinar for World Burlesque Day, and just because one of my clients manages the Burlesque Society here in Cyprus, so I sat in on the call, and it was very interesting to see how people combine that art form with what they love to do. So there was something like book lovers burlesque, where they read bedtime stories. There was storytelling in terms of telling a story of domestic abuse with dance. So if you combine it with something that you love to do, it creates this unique product. So you might have these sketches, and these sketches might be in one particular category.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If it's, I don't know, mental health, for example. I think mental health awareness is coming next month.
Yeah.
It's a great time to showcase that, whether to societies. So don't think outside the box. Don't limit yourself to maybe art curators or galleries. Think outside the box. Who would resonate with what I've done?
Okay.
And then contact them. Sometimes you might have to give a few gifts, conditional gift. I'm going to share this with you, but if you can repost and use my name or give me credit for it, whatever it is, donation, whatever it is, to get your name out there in front of the right people. But showcasing it is important to talent. We all know a lot of talented people that never get the recognition they deserve because they don't get it to the right people.
Yeah. Okay, so showcasing. All right then. Let's come back to you. Yes, go on with creativity.
Okay, finally, I wanted to talk about the difference between someone who is a rolling stone or a jack of all trades, and someone who wants to make an offer. And there's a lot of people that try different things, and you see them, and today they're doing this, tomorrow they're doing that. And there's no specialization in that. On the one hand, you've got to applaud them for trying different things. But the real difference that makes you a jack of all trade or a rolling stone that gathers no moss is the time and effort you spend on the one thing before you move on.
Together, okay.
Okay. Are you dedicating the time it needs to grow in this field, or the education, the trial and error, giving yourself room to grow in that field, or do you bolt when it gets hard and you're on to the next thing? You got that attention deficit of, I've done this for a week, I'm bored, what else? Because then you're never going to be able to specialize in one thing long enough to see if you really enjoy it, or if it's something that you just do for fun on a one-time basis. I think I shared some time ago on this show, there was a lady, an athlete, whose mother wouldn't let her quit. When she came from training and it was tough and she was like, I don't want to do this anymore, her mother would say, that's okay. You can quit. If you want to quit, you can quit. But quit on a good day. Quit on a day where things aren't hard and you think, actually, I'm not enjoying this anymore. Not because you've had a bad day or a bad season or you didn't win. You know, so I thought that was a really creative way of getting people to see the bigger picture rather because things got hard at a particular point.
So quitting when you are on the high, that would be the best way to do it.
And actually, let me add something to what Linda is just saying. Say, if for instance, assuming you are even trying, it didn't work, and you even want to go back to a job or something, one question, if I'm interviewing you, I will look at is, if you tell me, oh, I did this for this short time, I did this for this, I did this, and then the next question, why did you quit? You say, oh, challenge, because if there are no challenges, you might have. So that now the real test is, how did you put yourself out there to be able to solve those challenges? Because whatever you do, even eating, presents some challenges. There are sometimes you might cook them too much salt. It's also a challenge. So whatever you do, there are challenges. So if you quit when the challenges come, it means you are like a battle when you see your enemy out. Because nobody becomes successful without solving a problem. A challenge. If it's so easy, everybody will do it. So the difference between you going to succeed in what you're doing and someone going to fail is your ability to navigate through those tough times. If you are not able to do it, forget it.
Wow, interesting. Now, I wanted to ask a question, but you just eluded me. Okay, let me still come back to you. You go on. The question will come in.
That's what I said as well. When you've been through the challenges, it serves as a talking point of at an interview of how did you overcome this challenge? What was your process that you applied in trying to overcome the challenge? And that really reveals to an interviewer what you're made of, the stuff you're made of. Did you help? Were you being overly cautious? Are you risk averse? Do you like risk? Did you give up at the first hurdle? You know, if there's a difference at an interview, someone tells you they applied for 75 different grants, business funding grants, to, oh, well, we ran out of money and we quit. You know, there really is a of how resilient you are when the challenges come.
Wow. Listen, let's Starr Radio UK, Career 101 with HRH Linda Pallien, all the way from Cyprus. And today we are looking at how to use your creativity. Now, Linda, one other question that someone is asking is, now we have these millennials, okay? Well, I know they are all home now listening to us, and they will just want to do this. Now, I'm interested in working on this microphone. The next moment, no, I want to work on the speaker. No, the next moment, I want to work on the computer. So they're never able. They become like the Rolling Stone that you were talking about. But how long should one stay on a particular thing with all the challenges to say, now, look, though I'm not getting the high, I've not hit the high, but I've had enough. Now this time round, let's call it quits, or let's count our losses and go. How long should it take somebody to do that?
That's a very interesting question. How long is a piece of string?
As long as...
It really depends on what the bigger picture is. You know, and sometimes when you face challenges, it depends on what is the challenge. Okay. You know, is it that it's completely impossible, and actually you're flogging a dead horse? You know, like there's no way you can go with that. Yeah. So, for example, it's like promotions. If you're working in a small law firm, and really there's no way up for you to get promoted, you might take on extra responsibilities. You might take on different new cases, but there really isn't scope for you to grow in that company anymore. That might take 2 years for some people. that might take 10 years for some people. So it's really seeing what's the big picture, and have I done everything I can or I could? Have I given it everything? And then if not, then you can move on. But you really need to be honest with yourself that you've done the best and everything that you could do to keep going down that path, assuming that's a path that you really want to go down.
Mm-hmm.
So some people jump into something and they realize they've made a mistake, and of course you want to stop the bleed and then cut your losses early.
Yeah.
So then a quick decision is necessary.
Interesting. Now, the other question is, there are some who are, should I say, ill motivated, or they are not motivated in any way, shape, or form. Now, how do we get them to also use their creativity if they have one?
Yeah.
A tough one.
People are not motivated at all, and I've seen that version as well, especially in this period, because in these times it's hard to see the light at the end of the tunnel, and of course the times gives you an excuse to be lazy too. Everyone's at home, no one's buying, blah blah blah. You know, there's a couple of people that believe in those limiting beliefs. No one's buying, everyone's at home. You know, this is time for rest, I need to recover. And they're the people that think this is an opportunity, I've got to make the most of it. If you're unmotivated, it means that you haven't found a compelling enough why to get up and go and do something. You know, to effect any change in behavior or to do anything, the brain must be absolutely convinced that it's important, it's necessary, and you're going to get some benefits.
Okay.
So then we have to go to, okay, what will make you get up and do it? and it's really the carrot and stick. If you see the carrot and you can see what you're working towards, it's easier to get up and work towards it. So then getting back to what is the why. And if you're a parent and you find that your kids are in that position, then encourage them, even if they're not doing anything. They need to be doing some soul searching right now. Okay. Of what motivates me? What could I do if I had endless resources? What would make me? What excites me? You know, and sometimes the clues in these come from the oddest places. Your favorite TV program, your favorite rapper, whatever it is. But who you admire, why you admire them, what you're watching, why you're watching it. Who's your friend, why they're your friends, you know, really things that take less effort from you, you know, that you just naturally enjoy. That could really be an avenue to explore. What can I do with this in this pathway?
Okay, listeners, that has been HRH Linda Pallien bringing you Career 101. So, Linda, before we go, Frank, do you have any questions?
No, that's okay.
Okay. Now, before we go, how do people get in touch with you? Because you come this afternoon, you've motivated them, they're thinking, yeah, I'm going to get on with something. But, well, they go in, hit a bit of a break there, and they think, nah, we need to talk to somebody. How do they get in touch with you?
Definitely. Get in touch with me at www.mychairlinda.com. You can also contact me on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn is where I'm most active, or Twitter as well, at mychairlinda, MyCheerLinda, mychairlinda, and I'll be able to answer your questions. Get in touch with whatever it is, you know, if it's asking a question of what should I do next, or these are the resources, or where can I find this? And I'm more than happy to be a signpost or your cheerleader in getting you started.
Yes, she's my cheerleader. She's our cheerleader, and she can be your cheerleader. Get in touch with her. HRH, let me say thank you very much for another brilliant time with you.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me as always.
You're welcome. Regards to Mr. Pallien.
Will do.
Okay, and stay safe. Right.
Well, you too.
Okay then. Right. Bye. Bye. Well, listeners, that was HRH Linda Pallien all the way from Cyprus, bringing you Career 101. Like she said, get in touch with her, and she will make sure that she will be a sort of a direction to you to your next level. Okay, Frank.
Archie.
Yeah, we are running up.
We have.
That's a good one.
We have. We'll continue tomorrow. We'll continue tomorrow.
But listeners, remember tomorrow, the first edition or the maiden edition of the new program that will bring you your BB Means Business. Now, can you just imagine being there, making 20,000 a day? Let me put it that way, and still having another strand of income coming through. Maybe that was a 5,000 per hour coming through. What would that be for you? How would you be able to do that? Well, when it comes to money, I never see that the rich say it's enough. They will always go around to still get some more and some more. I'm not saying being greedy, no, but something that will make your life comfortable. What about that? Make sure you listen to this program tomorrow when BB Means Business. BB Clements comes your way with BB Means Business, and it's going to be at exactly 1:30. So just after the morning show, some musicals coming through, and then boom, we'll be having BB Clements coming away with BB Means Business. Well, so on that note, that is where we bring the program to a close for today. Don't go away. Stay tuned. The DJs are going to be taking over this afternoon to bring you more music and less talk. They're going to start from the jazz, and then we'll go on to all the others. But remember, this evening exactly at 5 o'clock, we have Empress Regina coming your way with On Point. Then it's followed exactly at 7 o'clock by The Mindset with Tony Williams. Then all roads leads to the Conscious Reggae Time. Though in a lockdown, we'll be having a virtual DJ time with the man himself, the maestro, Dave West, on Conscious Reggae. You'll be sleeping and tapping your foot, or you'll be walking around and shaking your head to the music. What about that? Make sure you stay tuned with us on Starr Radio UK. But remember, tomorrow we'll be coming live once again with the morning show, and your comments will still be welcome. But even as we go in, if you have any other comments or messages that you want to send across, yes, you can still send it to this number 07539661744, 07539661744, or what email us is info@starradiouk.com. Thank you very much, and God richly bless you. It's been me, Archie, and Mr. Frank Davis saying have a top of the day. But let me see, can I bring you some music? Well, let me look for that lovely music that I want to bring your way. I wanted to look for Simple Tone, but Simple Tone has eluded me. So let me bring you one. This is Caro. I hope that you enjoy it. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye for now.
Liberia, Mama Liberia. That's all right. Stand together. Fight the war.
where the symptoms are showing up in people within 14 days of exposure to the virus. What are the symptoms of COVID-19? COVID-19 symptoms include cough, fever, shortness of breath. In rare cases, COVID-19 can lead to severe respiratory problem, kidney failure, or death. If you have a fever or any kind of respiratory difficulty, such as coughing and shortness of breath, call your doctor. Asia to Europe, Europe to America, America to Africa. Take caution. Be safe. It could be a mama, brother, sister, a father. Let's stand together. Mama Liberia.
I'm Didi Clement, the author of How to Go from Employee to Entrepreneur. Just want to quickly tell you about a new and exciting radio show that I'm going to be hosting called BB Means Business. And I'll be discussing the importance of developing different income streams in today's climate and focusing on the small business as one such viable income